Welcome to Hurrdat Sports Live.
Contributing offensively for Miami, led by this guy. Hero step back, gets a good look, three-pointer, got it. Tyler Hero is 8 for 8 from the field. He's got 23 points.
If they shot the lights out from three in that first half, 10 for 18, but more of a struggle for Miami. And all of a sudden, Chicago's starting to make threes.
Morton Tucker, shot clock at 3. Somebody's got to put it up. Morton Tucker does, and knocks it down. Taylor Morton Tucker with a big 3.
3-2 to Packard. Swing and a miss for strike 3. Kershaw with 2 ground outs and a strikeout here in the second inning. He'll send us to the bottom half in a scoreless game. This Oklahoma City Comets radio.
Line shot into the corner down the right field line. He hit that one right and it's gone. Absolute laser beam by Hamilton. 1-0 Sox.
Line to right field, on the run is Bellinger. He dives and makes the play, and the Yankees win 4-3 on a sparkler by Cody Bellinger, and the Yankees sweep the Royals.
Good morning. Welcome in Hurrdat Sports Live, presented by Centris Federal Credit Union. That's DB. I'm Ravi Lulla here at Hurrdat Sports Bar and Grill. What's up, DB?
How we doing?
Oh, we're doing all right.
Yeah, I don't believe a word of that, but that's fine.
We're
that's
hanging
fine.
in there.
I am still tickled to watch people navigate the Tulane from.
Like the people that didn't want
I don't
Nico
mean Nico Tulane. I mean the two lanes on the interstate as you head west on 80 past the ILQ exit.
Head west, young man.
What a bottle connect.
Dalton?
Not Dalton and not Tyler Canuck.
Different guy.
Two different guys.
Very different guys.
And very different than what I'm talking about.
A little different body types.
Yeah. But I mean, a little extra time. Gave me time to listen to a couple extra songs.
Did we get fed up to this morning? Or
No, we're cool. I listened to music. I ended with what did I? I ended with a little Kevin Gates.
Kevin Gates.
You probably only know 2 phones. I got 2 phones. You may not know that. That might be a little much for you since it's like 55 years old. But
is this like 90s R&B?
No.
Okay, I don't know. Just asking.
No.
That's usually the stuff you talk about that I don't know about.
No, Kevin Gates is a little more recent.
Okay.
Significantly more recent. I don't know if he was born in the 90s. Kevin Gates can't be, but I don't know. I would guess maybe 30, low 30s. So he's probably born in the 90s.
He is 39.
Oh, a little older than I thought.
A little bit, just a touch.
So he's an 85 baby.
86, just turned 35 in February.
9, you mean?
39 in
Wow.
February. It's February 5th. I was looking at the 5 and it got in my head.
What the heck is wrong with you?
I don't know. It's, what day is it?
It is. So that confused me too.
Thursday, I think.
Caleb called early and I'm like, must be Wednesday because he should be busy.
He's not though?
They're very busy.
Oh, okay. You got to stay on it.
Yeah, coming off a big special teams day and some other stuff.
Special teams. Got to have a punter.
Oh, yeah. Isn't that funny?
Circumstances changed.
Nah. Oh, in a hurry. Don't worry. They'll be just fine.
I mean, somebody's going to punt it.
Yeah. I would go as far as to say they've got somebody in the fold. I'm pretty sure they're locked, loaded, and ready to go.
That's kind of what I figured.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It's kind of what I assumed, but what are you going to do?
Sometimes that writing is just crystal clear on the old wall.
Hurrdat Live here, just right on the wall.
Can you just read that nice and clear?
Hail varsity.
Yeah, they'll be just fine.
They will have a punter.
Yeah.
Okay.
That is should be the least of your concerns.
I was making sure. I was worried. Thought they might just snap it back there.
I don't believe a word of that. I detected note of sarcasm, and if that's what we're on this morning,
no.
I am fully prepared. You guys got off to a really good start yesterday, and it was a lot of fun and laughs at my expense. But I'm just letting you know, and you too over there, numbnuts. Your boy is locked and loaded this morning.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
It's good to see everybody.
Yeah, good to see everybody.
You feeling feisty today?
Nah, not particularly.
No?
I'm operation.
You doing all right?
Chill Mo D. Not to be confused with Cool Mo D. The other Wild Wild West.
Oh, yeah. I was like, hold on. I just heard that name recently. Yeah. We had a Wild Wild
You get
West
all those
confusion.
guys confused, don't you?
No, I was confused.
Billy Bathgate, Kevin Gates.
I don't know who Billy Bathgate is at all.
Shane, do you know who Billy Bathgate is?
Wasn't Billy Bats the guy that got killed in Goodfellas?
Yeah.
That's a different person.
No.
Sure.
Billy Bathgate. With who is that? Dustin Hoffman?
Mm-hmm. It's a
Okay.
movie.
I see it.
80s or 90s? 90s?
91.
91.
Oh, it's a gangster movie. I might like it.
Yeah. Well, the kind of gangster you like is studio gangsters. I should have brought Drake in today. But I went with Coach.
Like Drake and Kendrick?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, Drake's pretty studio.
Like
I
Drake from Degrassi?
Yeah, that Drake.
Okay.
I went with Coach Mack
Yep.
and Coach Busboom Kelly because they've been busy.
They've been doing some work?
Acquiring talent.
Allegedly.
Yeah. She gets the Oregonian previous commit in Kaggle, and he's getting whoever he wants.
Apparently.
So
might be more guys coming in the fold.
Wild, isn't it?
I don't know who's gonna play, but somebody will.
Fudge, weed them out.
Yeah.
Weed them out.
It's hard to yell.
Exactly. So, man, Max locked and loaded. Got a lot of guys saying yes that have been in the portal about 6 minutes.
Yeah.
So sometimes it's just like that.
I mean, you might have some guys just out there that scored like 20 points a game last year.
Yeah, I mean, we're out here, right?
Shot like 40% from three last year, and
Like, all of a sudden become available.
Good sized guards. I mean, it's
big guard guy, aren't you?
I am a big guard guy.
You're a big guard guy.
I am a big guard guy.
Are you feeling like you could get excited?
I'm excited.
I've
just seen too many little guards get cooked.
Did you feel bad about being a jerk with one Jacob Padilla?
No, I didn't.
Wow, you just weren't vibing with his song and dance?
No, because I'm pretty sure it's hard to tell over text, but I think he does stuff like that just to try and make me feel bad.
You just not having it.
And I'm just like, that dude roasts me so much. I'm just not having it.
Wow.
You know it's true.
I mean, kind
He
of,
does.
but the lisp thing I felt like was a little much.
Okay, so I wasn't trying to hate on people with lisp. I was specifically trying to hate on the Wonder Pets. I don't know what else to call the voice they do. Whatever that is, because they don't sound like Jacob. I don't know if you know this. The Wonder Pets and Jacob do not sound alike. I've never heard anyone or anything sound like the Wonder Pets.
Yeah.
And so whatever that voice is, I may have mislabeled it, and for that I apologize.
Well, he said it so matter of fact, Shane.
That's what everything he says is matter of fact. That's Jacob.
I mean, he literally it gave me the willies.
What, reading it?
Yeah.
It made you a little uncomfy?
Well, I felt bad.
Yeah.
And clearly you did not. I'm trying to find it. It was his delivery.
Yeah, no, that dude lights me on fire like on the daily.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, I'm sorry that he caught a stray. But
that he did.
But like, we're out here, right? The fact that I didn't even know he had a lisp, I think means that it did work. Like,
so what do you think he was making it up?
No, I mean, I'm sure like it's, you know how we don't like the way we sound a lot of times if you hear yourself back?
Yeah,
I think it's probably more that for him. Not saying he didn't struggle with it sometime, but I would never have labeled it as such.
Wow, you just keep digging, huh?
I will.
Well, you're a wild
Well,
boy.
that's what we're doing apparently out here with like, whether we're Nico Harrison or Nico Iamalaeva, like we're just apparently
lot of Nikos.
Just lying and digging. Apparently, is what we're doing.
Lot of Nikos. If you're a Cubs fan, you're a big Nico guy. You got a big hit for you.
I'm not a Cubs fan. I'm cool.
There got to be a few out here.
Yeah, there's one right there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right.
Big Cubs fan.
Oh, yeah, he's
Coach
huge.
Mack.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
I mean, either everybody's saying yes to Coach Mack or they're saying yes to Coach Huss. I don't know which one. Maybe both. Little combo platter.
Yeah, it didn't take long.
No. That's why I wanted Coach Huss, by the way.
Yeah.
Because I thought his ability to recruit at a super high level outshined everyone else that you could have been talking about. Like, D-Rock's a great coach, don't get me wrong. And I know that was a guy that was really popular, but A, he got his job, and B, I think Huss, of the assistants that Mack has had, not named Preston Murphy, and I don't think Huss is real far behind.
Yeah.
Huss's ability to go acquire talent is as good as anybody's we've ever had.
Just beating down the old door. Creighton fan may have to make a little bit of an adjustment.
How so?
Well, I mean, Mack had kind of mastered the formula of recruiting at the high school level and homegrown versus portaling.
Yeah, I mean, he might do a little bit of both.
Well, sure, he's done a little bit of both.
Yeah.
He's been more of a supplementer.
Well, so it depends on which parts of the era, right? Because he went pretty heavy early in the Big East era to catch up.
Yep.
Right, talent-wise.
Yes, it did.
And I feel like this is sort of
I feel like a penguin.
I feel like a penguin. All right, Sip. I feel like this is sort of a shift in.
I need to talk to him. He's been asking a lot of ridiculous questions lately.
Wow.
Just throwing him under the bus here. Huh?
I feel like a
that I
penguin.
would say. I mean, you know our relationship.
No, I know. Yeah,
Yeah, like I feel like he needs to knock it off.
lock in a little better.
Yeah, just a little too chummy. Like I don't know if I can get used to this lighthearted Sip.
Don't mealy mouth
I
me.
need the hard-hitting guy to come back.
You know, maybe he's just
Chilling,
quieter, gentler,
making all that paper in his ripe old age of 54
just getting a little,
or 64.
a little more chill out and a little more mellowed in his.
What the kids used to say about 10, 12 years ago, is it chillaxing? Or is that older than that? That might have been more your era.
I think that's more like 20 years ago. That's like my high school
All
era.
right, yeah, we're going to pass because I know you weren't cool in high school.
No, I was okay. That was mid-class.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Like I could float in between, but I'm not gonna be like, oh, I was one of the popular kids. But like I was well liked. I just wasn't like,
You just did your thing?
Yeah, I just kind of did my own thing.
I'd go back to high school in a heartbeat.
I had a good time in high school. I enjoyed high school.
It was my favorite.
Yeah. I was weirdly aware of how good I had it at the time.
Really?
Yeah, like I remember.
I don't know what I was except for I want a couple of mulligans.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. I just a couple of mulligans.
Yeah.
Just give me like 3 do-overs.
You care to share?
I would have lifted.
Okay.
I would have been a lot better lifter.
Good call.
I would have been a lot less militant.
Okay.
For sure.
Yeah.
Which would have led to a lot less fights, which would have led to not a lazy eye. And I would have chosen my my social life friends, female friends differently.
Okay. I think that's fair.
Yeah, I'm not one of those guys that's like, oh, I wouldn't change a thing, man. I'm better for it. Nah, I changed a lot.
There's probably not a lot I would change. Like I'm mostly
Simma Charm life, man. You got it like that.
Now I'd change some things about college for sure.
I mean, I would too, but like if I went back on the front end and got high school, college would be fine because then I wouldn't have been such a baby going into college.
Yeah, I just made bad choices.
I would have dialed in a little bit more with handling the football versus baseball thing. And I would have been better.
You know what I would have gone and tell myself if I had one to go back in high school?
What's that?
Don't
go to Miller North?
No, never. I'd be like, hey, go to Miller North 10 times. If you can. If you can find a way, go 10 times. I don't know if you heard Eric Crouch, but Miller North's why he loves football. So
yeah, I heard.
I just want people to know that.
I heard.
If you appreciate.
I wonder where'd Anna get him? She just say, hey, Eric, you got a second?
Yeah, it was over at the Jet.
Well, no, no kidding. Like, I was there. I'm pretty sure I was there.
Back in the day.
I almost got you.
Like, what are you doing? Golly.
You mean like where at the Jet?
Yeah. Like what part of the show was that?
It was beforehand because she came up and told me that they had gotten the interview.
Yeah.
Or maybe I told her to, hey, maybe talk to Eric. I don't remember. But she told me she was going to go get it. But it was beforehand.
Hey, don't go taking credit for her work.
She came out and asked me if there's anybody else that I saw that I thought would be good to get.
It ain't like I lined up Eckler for or anything. No, I'm just playing.
I'm just serious. No, I'd go back and tell myself, hey, like, you're not.
Don't be such a Dean Blandino. Life's too short.
No, I'm okay with that. I'm good with those choices. I would say, hey, don't be delusional. You're not going to be a professional athlete. Just have fun.
Yeah. So what were you going to go pro in?
Well, so
powerlifting?
No, when I was.
At what age did you stop being a meathead?
Recently, very recently.
34? The eye, was it the eye surgery?
It was the eye, yeah. So it was 2021. Yeah, 34. Or 33 going into 34, yeah. It was very recently.
Yeah.
I didn't really start being a meathead until after high school, though. So I started lifting really heavy, like a little bit after college.
Interesting.
But I thought, so I was a pretty good, like, middle school baseball player. And, like,
Who was your game like? Were you like Judge?
No, I was a pitcher. I threw pretty hard.
I don't believe a word of that.
I did.
You
I mean,
keep
for
telling me that.
For like a 13-year-old, I threw hard. I'm not saying I threw 90. I'm just
it's just interesting because your arms are like 6 inches long. I'm just trying to figure out how you navigated that.
I don't know. I threw pretty hard. I don't know what.
Did you have some Ninja Turtle to your game? Or
no, I had a little better range of motion before I became a meathead. You know?
Can you put your hand in the middle of your back?
No.
See, I don't understand how you could. I don't understand how you could throw.
Okay, so you heard the timeline, right? I didn't become a meathead until after.
Yeah.
So my shoulders were much more flexible at the time. I also had surgery on this shoulder, so that did not help.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I feel like it's a Jacob Padilla moment.
No, it's fine.
Where you can't really go back and get what ails, and you're going to make fun of it anyway.
It's all right. I wasn't ever going to be.
Shout out Jacob Padilla.
There was no world in which I was ever like. I wish I could just go tell myself like, "Hey, you're a 5'9" Indian kid. You're not going pro in anything. Like, have some fun." You know what I mean? Because I took myself really seriously.
At what point did you not know you were a 5'9" Indian kid?
Well, I think it was more that like I didn't realize that genetic profile wasn't going to project.
Yeah.
You know?
Kind of like being a 5'10" black quarterback.
Yeah,
what going to happen?
Yeah, you were like, maybe that.
Oh, don't try to ride on my demise.
Like,
Oh yeah, exactly like that.
You gave it as an example. What do you want me to do?
No, I was gonna be Darian Hagan. Don't get it twisted.
Okay.
Just didn't happen that way.
Well, I was never going to be whoever I thought I was going to be because, didn't realize that athletic profile didn't really, translate.
I'm kind of embarrassed to say I gravitated towards Darian Hagan.
Really?
Yeah. That's why I wore 3.
That's a move.
Yeah.
It's choices.
Yeah, I had a lot of weird stuff that is embarrassing. I used to have vanity plates, number 1. Embarrassing. My
What was the vanity plate?
Second to none. I had a Mazda 626.
Okay.
And I had an Acura TL, and that was TLC.
Okay.
TLSEE, which had a couple bad experiences. Threw up all over my car door once.
Ugh.
Yeah, no bueno.
That's a little rough.
Yeah. Pretty bad decision making.
If you had a new one, what would it be?
We're out here. This is the. It's too many letters.
It could go WEOUT. What is that? 5? How many do I get? 7 or 8?
I think if I was going to have a vanity plate now, somebody would have it, but I could get creative. It would be something like Loner. Or Solo or something like that.
Yeah?
Yeah. Something that typifies my personality.
Riding solo?
They see me rolling. Yeah, so I used to want to be Darian Hagan.
Yeah.
So my Letterman's coat, it was so like I was like Mr. Metro, then it was D Nice. I was just ugh.
You look back a little cringy?
Yeah. Yeah. That's what being insecure gets you though.
That's true.
I mean, I was 160 pounds, man, and I was like, I made everything an uphill me against the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that where the militantness came from?
Yes. It totally was. Yeah, it was a catalyst.
Was that your Malcolm X era?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Sorry, I was just looking up Darian Hagan stats, see what we were getting ourselves into here.
Darian Hagan was legit. I mean, legit.
I mean,
go ahead. Make fun. The
No,
stats are distorted.
I'm not making
because of the era.
No, I'm not trying to make fun. I'm just saying for one to be a black quarterback, we're still doing a lot of running. If you're trying to be Darian Hagan. Like you weren't really.
Well, you're just all the way comfortable, aren't you?
You just weren't like trying to break the mold or anything. You know what I mean? Like if you were that opposed to being a running back, like why Darian Hagan?
100 miles and running.
You know what I mean?
Did you ever used to listen to?
Could have been like Warren Moon or something.
Yeah, my mom was a big Warren Moon fan. That was kind of weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even like a Randall Cunningham would have been like in that era.
I did not like Randall Cunningham.
Yeah.
I could not stand Randall Cunningham's mechanics.
Fair. The mechanics were a little.
Yeah,
I
was all out on Randall.
Yeah.
Yeah. There, I hate to say this, but there weren't a lot of black quarterbacks I liked.
Darian Hagan, though.
I like Darian Hagan, though. I like Turner Gill. That was my dude.
Okay.
Ain't nothing to it the way you do it, 2-1.
At least Turner threw the pill around a little bit.
Yeah, he's a good baseball player, too.
Yeah.
So I was riding with Turner. I did not like Doug Williams. Moon was okay. I was not a Randall guy. You know, I never gravitated towards Vic.
Yeah.
I didn't like Vic till he got out of the joint. I mean, to be honest.
I liked Vic. I liked Vic's potential in college.
I never liked him.
I didn't like the way he played as a pro, and then when he got to Philly, that's part of the reason I love Andy Reid.
Probably the first black quarterback I probably was vibing with. I'll say probably Charlie Ward.
New head men's basketball coach at FAMU.
Yeah. I feel gross saying that.
Well, I mean, your
Pass
favorite
me the
quarterbacks,
Irish Spring.
Your favorite quarterbacks are now a Colorado guy and a Florida State guy, so that's a little sus.
I threw Turner in there. I was a big Steve Taylor guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I could never understand. I got it once I got to Nebraska, but as a kid growing up, I could never understand why he was asked to do such difficult things.
Steve Taylor?
You know, the sprint out, the reverse pivots, the throwing on the move. I'm like, that seems miserable. How come the guy just can't set his feet?
Not doing yourself any favors there.
But the passing game when I got there was, I don't know, man. Like I look at it now and I'm like, genius my rear end. I'm kidding. He was very smart, but
but some of the passing concepts were a little like rudimentary.
Yeah, 91, 93, 95, 97. It's a passing series. No bueno. Ask anybody that was in it.
See, now like Charlie Ward, now it's 3,000 passing yards.
Yeah, well, I watched Charlie Ward dice us up.
Yeah.
Very, very up close and personal.
Yeah.
I like Charlie Ward's poise.
Sure.
He was a cool customer. I admired that.
Yeah, I could appreciate that.
At some point, I stopped revving so high. But I don't know. They should have retired Darian Hagan's number. How's Darian Hagan's number not retired?
Darian Hagan, Cordell Stewart. I mean, there's at least two right there that deserve it before Shedeur.
You know what's funny?
Yeah, I think so too.
I know, Art. I'm with you.
I can sort of understand Travis because he won the Heisman.
Yeah.
Hey, if you win a big national award, we'll retire your number. I get that.
Yeah.
Like I'm cool with that.
Hashtag too soon?
I mean, it's a little early considering like Doug McDermott's still waiting, but it's fine. What I don't understand is Shedeur. They've had better quarterbacks than him.
Yeah.
They've had quarterbacks that have won more than him.
I mean, but he is the guy that said Jackson State and Colorado hadn't won much until he got there.
Don't tell that to Darian Hagan in his national championship.
So you know what's funny that you bring up Cordell Stewart? Number one, I was never a fan, even when he was Slash as a Steeler, because he was a Buffalo. And I didn't get over Buffalo. I didn't get over Colorado until, I don't know, probably mid-2000s. Like there was a really, really high level of hatred.
Sure.
So
understandable.
Only in the last 12, 15 years am I like, okay, I'm cool on Colorado. But Cordell is one of those guys that is hard for, even though I know he was a great college player, he was never good against us. So I can't look at him and say,
sure,
oh man, he was the deal. Like I watched that guy start like 0 of 17.
So that's part of the reverence for Charlie Ward then, right? Is like you saw him be good against you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like when I think Cordell Stewart, I don't think good college quarterback. I saw what he did against everybody else.
Yeah.
And then, I'm just like, I don't know, man.
He was a pretty good college quarterback.
Look at his stats against us.
No, I understand that. But like overall, he was.
Yeah, and I don't want to be like that. I'm just keeping it real. Like, I never saw him play at a high level.
So it's the way a lot of Husker fans felt about Josh Allen coming out. Because he had the 5 picks against Nebraska.
Yeah.
And they're just like, oh, that guy sucks. What's he
No, I think it was because he completed 48% of his passes in college.
Well, there's that too. But I do think a lot of it was because I have this theory that a lot of local fans, whether it's Nebraska or anywhere else, don't watch a ton of other stuff.
Yeah.
And so a lot of their frame of reference is what happens.
I'll go ahead and I'll give that to you.
Like a lot of their frame of reference is what happens against them. So, like, maybe there's some people going back to getting like, oh, is he actually this good, and looking up stats or whatever. But I think a lot of it is like, didn't Nate Gary pick him off like 14 times and throw the ball at his face?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, he did. And so that's you're like, that guy's a first-round quarterback?
And
Jake Locker was the same way.
It does shape the way that I think.
Although Jake Locker did suck.
Right?
So.
I don't have any animosity or angst towards Oklahoma because I only know them as being awful.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm like, I mean, it's transitions, tough time.
Same way with like probably.
But conversely, I do hate Texas.
Sure. Yeah.
Right? Because
96.
Yeah, it's a horrible taste.
Yeah.
Almost literally.
Probably the same way with
saran wrap sandwiches.
Not quite the same type of food.
I told you that. I've told that story.
Yeah, you have.
Yeah. I won't eat. I'm just not eating a sandwich out of a saran wrap.
Probably the same way like Kansas State probably feels different to people a few years after you were gone than during your era.
So,
because like 98 is where it starts to get dicey with Kansas State.
My thing with I don't have a strong polls. I mean, I was benched for a half against K-State for something stupid. But they did put a specialty play in for me. I beat Purcell Gaskins on a little wheel route out of the backfield. I couldn't run worth a damn, but I could catch. So I remember that. I remember a lot of crying in Manhattan. But I don't hate.
Yeah.
Actually, I probably.
I kind of liked him.
I lean more towards a lot of respect for K-State.
I really appreciated Bill Snyder.
Well, he did a Metro Coaches Clinic probably 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And I'm like, fudge, I see where that guy won.
Yeah.
And he wasn't like warm fuzzies, and he wasn't the type. He wasn't teaching handing out erasers and gift goodie bags. My man was like, he talked about working the campus and getting the administration on board and the teachers and going door to door and telling him what his vision was, and it allowed the campus to buy in to his philosophy with going the junior college route, and like he laid a lot of groundwork.
Yeah, he did it the hard way.
Well, so that's why I like Coach Rule.
Yeah.
Well, that's one of the reasons why I like Coach Rule. Right, where you want to get these guys back in class and you want in person and you want to build the schedule for class taking on campus this way, you need a lot of help.
Well, and it makes it harder on you.
And so you have to go to your academics. You have to I just told you the other day. I mean, Dennis was like, this is going to either be sink or swim. This is going to be fantastic or
a disaster.
This is going to be an absolute disaster.
Yeah. Because, I mean, if you're a football coach, it's much easier to say, hey, take all your classes online, figure out your schedule around me.
And remember, that's the way that everybody had gravitated post the vid.
And that's how a lot of people were going before that. And that's just what a lot of major college football programs do.
Yeah.
So I always kind of hesitate because I appreciate people that do it the hard way. I also get frustrated when people do it the hard way for no good reason. Like doing it for the hard way for the hard way's sake really frustrates me.
Yeah, I used to be the exact same way, and I kind of developed this. It's not my own. I got it from somebody, but I'm always like, I'm a big don't knock the hustle guy. Where
sure,
do it how you like, what works for you, because you can't get enough people to compete in life. Mm-hmm. So if you can compete and you want to hang in there and this is the way that you want to do it, where it allows you to grind and do that. Because I just know 7 out of 10 people won't. Like they'll wave the white. They'll just.
So you know what
they'll go all day.
You know what I think it is more than anything is the people that do it the hard way just for the hard way's sake, just so they can tell you that they're doing it the hard way.
Yeah,
that's the thing that bothers me.
I let those people ride.
Yeah.
I don't even. Yeah, I know people like that.
Like they just want you to know how much they're working or how hard they're struggling.
Yeah, I keep it pushing.
I can pass on that. You know what I mean?
I keep it pushing. Like the people that tell you how much weight they've lost.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't compliment those people.
Except for if you're talking to our friends at Midlands Family Urgent Care, then it's cool.
Sure. But if you're like, if you came up to me and you're like, hey DB, do I look good? How do I look? And I'd be like, oh man, you're all right.
Yeah.
But if you let me say, hey man,
you
look
lost
good.
some weight? Yeah. That's a different conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nah, I've put my foot in my mouth 3 times. So I'm very reluctant to comment on weight, because all the last 3 times I've commented on somebody's weight, 1 was a divorce and 2 were sick. So
yeah,
I'm not. Hey, you may look like $1 million. I'm not saying a word because
not saying a damn thing.
Apparently I lack tact.
I will say that divorce diet did drop me some lbs.
Oh man, I felt terrible. We were at a deal, Family Leadership Institute. My principal, I'm not even going to say the school. And I was like, hey, I said, oh my God, man, you look incredible. I said, what are you doing? He said, I wouldn't recommend it. I said, oh, is it tough? He goes, yeah, it's divorce. I was like, oh, where are the students? Are they in the building yet?
Can we, you guys over here?
It's like a Saturday morning, and we're setting up breakfast, right? Because I got this Leadership Institute thing. I was so embarrassed. I don't know if I couldn't make eye contact the rest of the morning. Yeah. I mean, it was the longest 8 to 12:30 ever. I mean, I felt like dog manure.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he kind of adjusted his belt line. He's like, yeah, it's called divorce. And I was like,
So part of that, look, listen, part of that's on him.
Why?
Because there's obviously when you come up to him in that situation, you've got a certain intention of being like, hey, man, you look good. I appreciate that. Yeah. He doesn't have to put you in that spot.
Yeah, but I think it was because he wasn't really trying. He just wasn't eating.
I understand that. No, I've been there. I lost 15 pounds in 10 days, after I was getting divorced. I get it. But my point is you don't have to put, if somebody had come up to me in that time period and be like, oh, man, you're looking good. I'd be like, oh, thank you. I appreciate it. And then I just keep moving on.
Yeah.
You don't have to put the person in the awkward spot. You just be like, oh, I appreciate it. Yeah, I've been working on it. That's it. That's all you have to say. You don't have to be like, yeah, I'm getting divorced. It's terrible.
Well, he definitely didn't say it with a Coke and a smile. My man was pretty distraught.
Listen, I get it, man. And maybe you just don't have the emotional energy to put on a face for somebody, but that's not entire. I'm going to give you a pass on that one.
I appreciate that. You're only, I was 07. You're only 18 years late.
Well, I'm going to go back and get that one for you. I'm going to put that one back in the old DB column.
Yeah. All right. I feel better. I feel better. Would you have retired Darian Hagan's number before you retired Shadour's?
I would have retired Bill Belichick's girlfriend from whatever job she has.
I don't understand.
I don't either, man.
I'm dead serious.
I don't get it. What's happening?
So it's funny, how is that the Belichickian way?
I think he is just. I think he's quiet quitting.
Have you seen the pictures?
Yes, I've seen the videos.
She's just parade. She's just
and she's.
we're out here, right?
She's walking on the field during practice and talking to him, and it's like, okay, this is the same dude that wouldn't let people.
Remember the Patriot way?
Yeah, they wouldn't have people's professional trainers on the field.
Yeah,
and his girlfriend's going to talk to him during live practice periods on the field in boots and heels and
I don't get it.
I don't understand what's happening.
Well, he just lost a quarterback in the portal, so maybe he didn't like it either.
Well, maybe this. I don't know if they're
counting.
Yeah, Brown.
Yeah,
Brown is out. Just got there in December.
So yesterday the portal was first day, right?
Open. Yeah, I believe so.
Oh man,
it's he's got some players in there. He's got Bill Belichick. I don't really know what's happening there.
Now here's the other thing. With going back to Colorado real quick, you're probably not doing him any favors before the draft, right? Of a guy that already comes across as being bigger
than whatever situation he's going into.
Yeah.
Well, we've learned, and we can get to this here in a minute because we're at 35 on the opening segment here. I wouldn't know because we don't have an iPad, but it's fine.
Yeah, I noticed it's a little open.
It does. It makes me uncomfortable.
Shane, where's the clickety clock?
It's been charging for 55. I can't get it to turn on.
I mean, we have it charges.
That looks like it's on to me.
It's going to turn off.
Are you sure?
Yeah, it's been charging since 6:40.
Okay. Anyway, speaking of
that can't bother you. He's just trying to explain to me. You don't have to rush him along.
No, there's no more information, I don't think, to get there.
Can I be the judge of that?
Go for it, yeah.
Shane, is there anything else you'd like to say? Because it just gave you the code to type in.
Yeah, it's done that.
Okay, so you've made it that far?
Yeah. And then I go over to here, and then it goes on the low power thing, and then you hit this.
I'm only buying you some time to explain because Ravi wants to boss me around.
And it's going to do this, and then a little bit is probably.
And I just want him to have to be patient another 30 seconds while he's gritting and grinding down his whatever molars he has left while he's listening to.
He is getting ready to just.
He gets very upset.
No, I'm just waiting. Whatever you guys want to do.
We're out here, right?
Are you waiting?
Whatever you guys want to do, I'm cool. It's fine.
What's the rush?
I'm sorry. What were you saying?
No, I'm fine. Do we want to get the iPad? You want to talk about the iPad some
You're
more?
a child.
I've
Stop
been
pouting.
trying to get it to go.
My only thing is that we have chargers up here also. Like
So
often it is charging while it's up here. That's the thing that happens, right, DB? It charges while it's up here.
Oh, that's between you two.
I'm just asking. I'm trying to get some clarification. If we're going to talk about the situation, I'd like to talk about the situation.
Fight in Indiana white.
Whoa.
Oh, I'm so fired. It's fine. It's fine. I'll start over. See you down in Lincoln. Oh, it went fade to black.
Yeah, it's charging though. At least it was.
How do you know?
Because I saw a little lightning bolt up in there.
All right.
It's fine.
Yeah, we better come back.
You good?
Yeah, I'm good.
Who you want to fight?
Nobody.
Oh, okay. You're not Milton anymore, huh?
What happened?
No longer in our Malcolm X era?
Nope.
I don't think he would have advocated for what you just called for anyway.
Early Malcolm would have.
Yeah, you want everybody to fight?
Yeah. It started with Marcus Garvey.
We're talking about
Now, he was a little too over the top for me.
little extra.
Yeah, because I didn't want to go anywhere. I kind of liked America at the time. Not trying to head back to Africa.
Not trying to go back.
Didn't know enough.
You got some unknowns going there.
Yeah, and back then I'm like, I had questions.
Yeah.
Yeah, running water and all the things that first world countries have versus third world countries. Not interested in being in the Congo, little things like that. I don't want random animals at my door.
I mean, we had a turkey trot up here yesterday.
Yeah, chilling.
So we got chicken bones out in the parking lot. We got turkeys trotting up here.
Shout out Marcus Garvey.
I mean, listen, I'm a little hesitant to go back to India, and I'm much more closely related to my people there than you. Like you're much further removed from being back in the homeland. You know what I mean?
I don't need to talk to you about that right now.
I mean, like my dad was born in India, so like as far as I know, your dad was not born in Africa.
That would be correct.
Okay, so and neither was your mom because she's from Houston. I know that.
Correct.
So, like you're further removed from the homeland.
I enjoy your process of elimination. A little awkward.
I mean, it's fine.
If you do say so yourself.
Like I'm saying, I'm much closer to being like, I don't want to say a native Indian because that could get confusing, but natively from India than you are being natively from Africa. And I'm still hesitant to go back. It's like, there's a lot of unknowns, a lot of question marks.
I am not confused.
It's not a running water thing or anything, but because I've been there.
Well, I was 15.
Yeah, I get it.
Well,
Gotta keep watering the bamboo.
You think you're like
exactly
flying up into like Wakanda, and you're like, what's going on here? What do we got?
They'll say coaches too.
See, you're just doing too much. It's totally the last 5 minutes was really uncalled for.
This is your fault.
But much like Cyndi Lauper, I just have to see your true colors, right?
I see your true colors.
Dude, get out of here.
This is your fault. You did the iPad.
Right. It's my fault because you're mad that I bought Shane some time so he could have 3 seconds to talk and you wanted to cut him off.
I'm just saying.
How we only at 3%?
Because it has just now started charging after you plugged it in up here.
It's been charging since 6:40.
Shane, shut up. It has not. This thing is not at 3%. It's been charging since 6:40.
It was 5% a little bit ago.
So that means it was going down. That's the opposite of charging. That's
I'm not riding with either one of you guys right now. I don't know what the world is going on. No, man.
I'm here to tell you right now.
Just to hit me with the homeland. Like,
well,
you're incorrigible.
I was going to say motherland, but I didn't know, like, that's what we call India. I didn't know if that's what you called Africa. Because some people go motherland, some people go fatherland, some people go homeland. Motherland.
I don't need that. See?
That's a different thing.
By the way, I got some good drops yesterday.
Have you ever seen the End of the World video?
Do you do crack?
You smoke crack, don't you?
Like, what is wrong with you?
Have you ever seen the End of the World video?
No.
Okay, so I'll show it to you during the break.
We finally gonna take one?
I don't know.
That's all.
I still want to talk about Nico.
We're going to when we come back.
Okay, that's DB.
I need a moment.
We'll get the iPad to work too. That's DB. I'm Ravi Lulla. I don't know what just happened. It's Hurrdat Sports Live.
You being you.
Yeah.
Jeez.
big win over Creighton. This is a monkey off the back. You were telling me just now. A lot of emotion from you guys tonight on the field. How much meaning was into this win tonight?
Yeah, definitely a lot. Now we can go get the series. We have another opportunity to play against these guys, and it's going to mean more playing them in this next game.
Yeah. Things really got going for you guys in the 6th inning. The bats came alive, but it came off a 1-2-3 inning from your freshman pitcher on the mound. What can you say from Price and the kind of inning he put together to get you guys going at the plate?
I mean, he's a great pitcher. He's a sidearm guy, throws from up top and down on the side too. So to see him do that was really great and a big confidence for our offense.
Yeah. Like you said, a lot of confidence. How do you guys carry that into this weekend series against Northwestern?
I think continue the great conversations that, in the clubby, just continuing to, instill the confidence within each other, within the pitchers, within the hitters. The biggest thing is going up there with confidence, and if we can do that, we're going to have success.
That was a full team win for you guys. A lot of arms, a lot of guys stepped up. Pinch hitters came up big for you guys. Just how proud of you are this performance and everyone on the team?
Yeah, I'm super proud, and Coach Bolt brought it up in the after-game meeting, just continuing to, pick out guys and continue to praise them for, Ravi Bowling coming off the bench, our pitchers coming out of the bullpen and just having success. That was great for us, and I believe we can have that the rest of the year.
Yeah. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Aspirations can drive us. Sometimes a simple gesture is what fuels the pursuit of a dream. When it's time to make your dream a reality, we are here to help. Centris Federal Credit Union. We are where you are.
Yeah, I think that's a continued, work in progress. I think there are some guys that have solidified themselves as probably frontline players, but I think we have numbers there that we are trying to kind of stack, so to speak. Where is this guy after 10 practices? I think that's probably something maybe more so than the back seven that's really going to probably take its way all the way through training camp, just because the grind of that position, the health that's needed at that position, I think will affect things. And then obviously I think we have a couple young players coming in at that position that may end up helping us, So I think there'll be some maybe more fluidity there than maybe there is in the back seven.
You're listening to Hurrdat Sports Live.
I don't think Jackson State or Colorado had a winning history before I got there. So it's just another day in the office, another year in the office for me. It's the same thing over and over. And that's why I enjoy about life, because I understand how to approach different situations and what to do different. So I'm just thankful for the opportunity, and whoever drafts me, whatever pick, I truly don't matter to me, because I know in myself who I am and I know what I bring to the table. So whoever sees the value in that, will be very lucky to give me.
Welcome back, Hurrdat Sports Live. That's DBM Ravi Lulla. If you'd like to stay on the road more than we have with the show this morning and keep things out of the ditch, you need to keep those eyes peeled and pay attention. No distractions while you're driving. As a driver, you've got one job to do. That is to drive. This message from the NDOT Highway Safety Office. In the chat here, which I was catching up on a little bit.
I have not seen it yet. What am I missing?
It's a smorgasbord.
Oh, you said that correctly.
Did I?
Yeah.
I kind of stumbled into it. I wasn't 100% confident, if I'm being honest.
We know a couple guys that just start sentences and don't know how they're going to finish.
I knew how I wanted it to finish. I didn't know if I was going to land it.
Hey, do you think he can read?
At some level, yes. I don't know about what level of proficiency.
Yeah. Yeah.
Multitasking is hard for some people too. Maybe like if he's reading Harry Potter at home, he's like knocking it out really good, like doing a great job. But reading
Don't matter to me.
I mean, I've told you before, I could not use a teleprompter. That would kill me.
I wonder what he's reading though, and just practice before you hit record.
Maybe like the newspaper, or something. You know.
Hey, and Nebraska softball leading the country. Oh my God.
So apparently
you don't even watch softball. Be quiet.
Apparently it's FAMU, not FAMU.
Oh, did you slide that in? Who called you on it?
Terrence.
Oh, yeah, well.
I'm stunned.
You can't do that.
I'm stunned I didn't get it right. FAMU sounds more awkward to me than FAMU. Is it like Shamu? Like FAMU? FAMU.
I'm telling.
So I'm not really sure. Anyway.
I'm stunned.
I missed it on that one.
FAMU.
FAMU, not FAMU.
Yeah, the U is just university. It's not that hard.
I know, but I just made
you don't even eat cows. So
that's other people that look like me. I'm actually okay with beef.
I'm sorry.
I think I've been a bad influence on you. No, I was just making all one word, like FAMU.
Yes.
And not FAMU. I mean, it makes sense now that he says it, but I just like look at FMAU and I'm like, FAMU. Like Duval. No. Amazing.
This is Kobe is the second person this morning that has used this exact term.
What did he say?
Ravi is on one. I just read you that.
Yeah. Amazing Daniel said he hated that he secretly loved Jamil Holloway.
So,
in terms of quarterbacks that play for teams he didn't like.
There wasn't one quarterback that I actually liked that played for Oklahoma.
Yeah?
Yeah. One I'm particularly traumatized by, and that would be J.C. Watts.
Yeah.
J.C. Watts came to speak to us.
Former Congressman J.C. Watts?
Correct. Came to speak to us the night before we played Oklahoma in Norman. And your boy decided to fall asleep. And
how'd that go over?
Like a lead balloon. Coach Osborne stood over me. I was embarrassed as all get out. My man asked me if I needed a nap. It was awful.
What did you say?
I was traumatized. I probably was wiping the drool off my mouth. I was so embarrassed. That was...
You know what I would have said?
I'm like, yeah, there's a good chance I'm not playing tomorrow. I mean, just dumb. Like, just keep your eyes open.
Like, I don't know. It depends on how many carries
you ever had a teacher just stand over you and like,
no,
yeah, because I was a good student.
No, that's not it. I didn't fall asleep in class really. But
yeah,
not that
my man was
not that I was a good student.
Standing over me.
I did. So I went to this when I was in high school.
So I'm anti-J.C. Watts. I blame him.
Again, that's not a J.C. Watts problem.
If you just would have been saying some more pertinent stuff, I would have been vibing.
JC, I need you to be more interesting.
Yeah.
No, I did.
The more I think about that, I don't even know how I made it. I just don't.
I wonder that all the time. Some of the stories you tell me, I'm like, dude, how are you here?
Man, listen, just trying to get better.
No, I had when I was in high school, we did these like church retreat things.
Yeah.
And we were supposed to. This was like it was in the summer. They woke us up pretty early. It was after breakfast, and we were supposed to have like a little quiet prayer meditation time. And like I passed the F out. Like I was out. And then I had the worst part was though, because like if you're asleep, you can look like you're praying. It's no big deal. Right? The worst part was I had like a jump scare.
Are you a nodder?
No. So I was like, not in general, but like in that situation, I like had the head down or like doing one of these. You know? And so but I had like a jump scare awake. And so I woke up and it like and so like
you should have just like went into like tongues or something.
That we're not that kind of. That wasn't our our brand.
I'm sorry.
That wasn't our particular flavor.
Thank you, Jesus.
Like you'd have been good. But and so everybody heard me, and I was
we clearly have some issues.
Looking around, I was like, oh, so they didn't know I was asleep before, but they do now.
Yeah,
they do now.
My man, he stands with his hands in front of him too, like this. Is very embarrassing because he was so disappointed. His head was down.
Good old T.O.
Do you need a nap? Nah, bro, I'm good. Sorry.
I'd have been like, well, clearly, obviously, I wouldn't have fallen asleep if I did.
Should I just go to the bus now?
Should I go home?
Dude, I didn't sleep a wink. I was so embarrassed.
Well, you didn't need to. You got your nap in.
Just wrong. I appreciate I appreciate the compassion.
It was just
Clearly, I was traumatized. You're piling on. That's cool.
That's cool. All right. Kobe was hating on me for turning around the divorce guy and making it his fault for making you feel bad. So I do think that's on him a little bit. Like you have listen, I've been in it, so I've overshared. I get it. Like I've been in a spot where I was like, this is not the time to talk about what you're going through, but I do it anyway. That's a little bit on him, though. Like if you're paying somebody a compliment.
I appreciate that. I'm just telling you, you're 18 years late.
That's fine. In general, for people just, for the royal we, if you're listening to the show here, if somebody pays you what they mean to be a compliment and it's not offensive or anything like that, and it's just like, oh, hey, you look good. You look like you lost some weight.
Yeah, it's not like I said, ooh, man, you on that crack diet? I didn't say anything like that.
Or, like sometimes like you can objectify people, which is not great. But if you're just like, hey, like you look like if I came up to you and I was like, yeah, TB, you're looking lean, you're looking good. And you're like, yeah, I got a tapeworm. I'd be like, oh, damn. Like, you know what I mean?
I wonder if that works. Because I think
that's the problem with you is you would try a tapeworm.
Yeah, just ingest one and see. Like, you're going to be all right?
I don't know.
Yes, indeed.
I don't know if you are. I don't think tapeworms are good for you.
Huh. It's interesting.
But yeah, like that would be a little bit on you to not be a jerk about the situation.
So I appreciate that.
So I think you're okay there.
One of the first normal things you've said in the last however long we've been talking. I'm pretty disappointed in you.
Who you want to fight today? Who you want to fight?
I don't even know why I said that.
It was funny.
An accident.
Who do we have coming? We got Brian Christopherson coming up. No, what day is it?
It's Thursday.
We talked to BC yesterday?
Yeah.
Oh my God, what day is it?
It's Thursday. So
so we got time at 8. Never mind. We're cool.
Yeah, we got Bruntz.
At 9. We're cool. We're cool until then though.
Yeah. And I know you're still mad about because Brian Edwards will be first though.
Yeah, we got Brian Edwards 8:45. We got Bruntz at 9. Then we got Eddie Garcia talking hockey at 9:30.
So at what time did we set the lineup?
7:55. First hour, baby. Still counts.
What a debacle.
Maybe.
How mad at Nico were you yesterday?
Which Nico?
Let's not go Harrison yet because he's not gonna survive.
No.
Although then they turn around and they boat race Sacramento,
Sacramento, come on.
Again, that's another one of those rosters you look at and you're like, you probably could be a little better.
They probably could be. But
Lawrence Funderburk and Hedo Turkoglu aren't walking to the door anytime soon, but still.
Big Scott Pollard guy.
big muddy Mateen Cleaves guy.
Big Corliss Williamson guy.
Yeah, I did like Big Nasty.
Yeah, he was good at Arkansas. That was good.
Yeah, I did like it.
Those were nice early 2000s. No, let's start. Okay, we'll start with Nico Iamalaeva, which I don't think I'm saying that right, but I'm pretty sure that's.
I think you're missing a whole syllable.
Is it Iamalaeva?
Yeah, it starts with an I. I don't know how you just jump to L's.
I'm not. Yama. Huh. Like Yamo be there.
Yamo be there. That's the Doobie Smoke?
That's Mike McDonald. Michael McDonald, isn't it?
But I think he was a Doobie brother.
Was he?
He was a Doobie brother, yes.
I thought the Doobie brother. So they weren't actual brothers.
Oh my!
The Bee Gees were actual brothers, right?
Yes, there was 4 Bee Gees, 3 in the band.
Okay. I got the Bee Gees and the Doobie Brothers confused. Similar era. Right, Shane? Similar era?
Similar era, but way different music.
No, yeah, I just era-wise and for some reason Doobie and BG kind of sound similar to me.
Man, you smoke crack, don't you?
Boys in the Hood. Okay. Iamalaeva. Is that better?
Yes, thank you. Thank you.
No, yeah, so Nico is apparently going to UCLA.
Yeah.
And I want you to know that it was not about the money. It was about the offense.
Well, clearly it's not about the money because he lost a lot of money.
How much do we think he lost?
Oh, I'm speculating, but I don't.
Because 2.4 is the real number at Tennessee, as far as we know.
Yes.
Okay. He's not getting that at UCLA. I would venture.
No. I would say he probably. Gosh, this is terrible because
we're guessing.
I would say he lost a cool $1.
I think so. I think it's somewhere between $1 and $1.5 million.
T-Mac, so y'all know this is Thursday and not Friday, right?
I have no idea what day it is, T-Mac.
You really didn't, though.
No, when I saw 7:54 on the clock, I was like, oh, shoot, we got to get to BC, who we literally just talked to yesterday.
Yeah, he was exceptional.
No, he did a great job yesterday.
Shafe had another good week, too.
Yeah. Our guests are on a roll.
Yeah. Softballs.
We'll have to have Bruntz keep it up.
Oh, Bruntz will be funny.
Yeah, always is.
I still think I don't know why you're downplaying the potential of needing a sweep either. I went back and thought about that. I didn't appreciate that.
I wasn't downplaying the potential of needing a sweep. I was downplaying the potential of
you just felt like I was asking a lot.
Yeah, I do think you're asking a lot.
That's fine.
They have 5 conference wins on the year. You're asking them to get 60% of that this weekend.
No, I don't.
That seems like a big ask.
I don't know what's wrong with that.
There's nothing wrong with it.
Because at some point, Ravi, you have to throw the gauntlet down. Okay, enough's enough. Get your ass in gear and let's get this thing going.
They didn't want to do that in the first 15 conference games?
Well, sometimes desperate times call for desperate measures.
See, I have a hard time with this. Can I just...
Now he's mad. Here we go. You have to adjust yourself in your seat to lay into DB. We didn't even get to Nico.
We'll get to
Why are you mad now?
I think the desperation thing, I know that it's real sometimes, but I also think it's stupid. Like, I think it drives me crazy.
Is that funny? He didn't even say anything yet, except he thinks it's stupid, and you're laughing.
It drives me crazy.
He knows you're crazy, and you're going to say something.
I think Kobe went into this where he was like, what, they weren't desperate the first 3 games?
Oh, so now you're a big Kobe quote machine guy, huh?
I'm just like, he had some pearls of wisdom.
Yeah.
I don't understand.
You know he was the Black Mamba, right? There's nothing about King Cobras in there. Wrong part of the world.
I could still be a fan. Like,
this ain't Ricky Ticky Tavi.
I don't even know what that means. Really more of an elephant guy than a snake guy myself. But
so you don't think desperation's a thing?
No, I do think
you're the same guy that got on this goddamn Irish Spring soapbox one day and was lamenting about trap games.
No, I do think it's a thing. I think it's stupid though. I think it's stupid. Like, if you're like, at what point, like, shouldn't they have been desperate for like a month now? They've been playing bad baseball for so long. At what point are you just like, oh, now if we don't win every single game, we are truly and deeply screwed. Now I'm desperate. It wasn't before while I was just watching our season circle the drain. Now that the turd's actually in the pipes, now I'm worried. Like, what are we doing?
So here's the deal. When you see what your RPI is, you see what the week entails. You've got a winnable series against a team that hasn't played near as tough a schedule as you. Mm-hmm. You're at the house. You're going to have to probably move the Sunday game because weather may not be favorable. And it's Easter. I mean, you got to let the guys go on an Easter egg hunt or something like that.
Sure.
But,
have like a spiral ham or something. You know?
I don't
Maybe like a church potluck egg casserole.
I don't appreciate your sarcasm. I just don't.
You're talking about Easter egg hunts and I'm the one in trouble here? You think Will Bolt's going to like put a little plastic Easter eggs together, got little candies in them for them? Because they're so desperate they need a little pick-me-up?
For the families, Ravi, the families.
I was imagining.
Good Lord.
I was picturing them all out there in their baseball uniforms.
So I got a question, though. How does Mr. Trap Game...
I think trap games are dumb too, but they exist. I'm not saying desperation doesn't exist. I'm saying if you're Nebraska,
yeah, you see where you are with your RPI. You're like, hey, listen,
yeah,
we got a chance, right? We're up 8 spots. Hey guys, we can pull this off. You don't think you have those revelations or a course of a season where you got to get it in gear that's different at some other point during the season?
I think if you're Nebraska, it's embarrassing that it took you to this.
Nobody cares about whether it's embarrassing or not. The reality is you have to change gears. You put yourself in this position.
So here's my question.
You think they're like, oh, this is You remind me of what was the big Humpty Dumpty egg on Puss in Boots? My dude was like, "Are you embarrassed?" I'm not. Like
they should be.
No.
Yeah,
you go play ball.
That's fine, and go play ball. But the fact, if this is in there, if you're right, and this version of them is in there, then what the hell have we been doing for 40 games?
It's baseball. It's hard. Lock in.
2/3 of the season.
So you don't think teams hit the X button?
I think they do, but if the X button's in there, do it sooner.
You just wax poetic about,
sooner.
Oh, this was the moment that I knew Ohio State was for real. Like, what were they doing for 3/4 of the season?
Okay, but that doesn't mean that they didn't know they were for real before I did. That's a different thing. My perspective as a fan of their locker room, I'm not in there.
What difference does it make?
I think the difference makes if this is the team, like we saw good versions of Ohio State throughout the season. When they're playing every other team except for Oregon and Michigan.
Not true. That's not true.
Then why did we think they were such a good team all year?
Who's we? I didn't think they were such a good team all year.
I know you didn't.
And you didn't either. I'd sit next to you every day. And at no point were you like, oh, man, Ohio State's the best team in the country.
No,
at no point did you say that.
No, but every day we did say, hey, they're probably one of the most talented teams in the country.
Yeah, that's different.
I understand that.
I
understand that. But it's embarrassing for them, too, that they lost to Michigan.
So the point is, it happens.
It does happen, and I think it's stupid that
it happens more than you think, right?
I think it happens a lot, yeah.
Okay.
And I think it's incredibly frustrating. This is the thing that gets the coaches fired, by the way, is that if you've got a team, you put it together, a nice team, right? You're like, hey.
Kyle is egging me on. He said, guys, don't get divorced. You're great together. I'll end up killing you, though.
If we do, though, like imagine the diets we would be on.
Just wrong.
And you know what? When somebody came up to me,
you might be the most uncouth person I've ever met. For a dude with a sailboat, deck shoes, and capri pants and shorts, you're about as uncouth as it gets. Like, what is wrong with you?
I just saw the joke. I don't know.
And you keep laughing. You're not helping. I'm just saying. I mean, what?
It's true. It only encourages me.
Oh, yeah, so great. You get thin on your own way.
I'm just saying, if somebody came up to me, I wouldn't be like, yeah, I'm going through it right now. It's been tough out here.
I feel like you're making fun of him.
I'm not. I've been in that spot. I've literally been in that spot.
What do you mean you're not? You just went into a bit.
I'm doing a different thing now, but I'm not making fun of the fact that he got divorced. Like that's
So you don't think this team can play with a sense of desperation?
I think they could. I just think they should have before now.
When did you start watching sports? Yesterday?
No, it's been a minute.
Well,
at least a week. I find it, as someone who has coached, I find it incredibly frustrating when I know there's
You do realize that how you feel about it, you realize has nothing to do with what it actually is.
Well, I get that.
Can you make that distinction?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, they can play with some desperation.
They certainly can. And if this has been in there.
So you're going to be one of those guys, if they swept this, let's say if they swept the series. I get what I'm saying.
It's on the table. It's on the table.
I get what I'm saying, right? It's like, hey, it's go time.
Yeah.
Right? You don't just want to win the series. Like, you want to start to build some momentum.
And they have to if they want to make it to the Big Ten. I get it.
Are you going to be one of those guys that say, well, where's this been all year? Because it's sports. It happens.
I'm not going to say that where's this been all year. I'm going to be I'm almost frustrated on behalf of Will Bolt because I think he's put together a capable roster. We've seen him hit at times. We've seen him pitch at times. We haven't seen him do both at the same time very often, right? I would just be incredibly frustrated, I guess, on his behalf as someone who's been in similar situations where it's like, hey, I know you're capable of this. Why now? Like, what does it take? Like, is it just, hey, now I see the light at the end of the tunnel and I feel like my career's coming to an end or the season's coming to an end or whatever, and now I want to go? And that's fine. They're young people and they can be motivated by different things, but that's still incredibly frustrating as both a player and a fan.
I'm just telling you it happens.
I'm not denying that it happens.
And it happens quite a bit. Like, I look at All Red in wrestling. Sometimes these things happen and guys are like, hey, man, it's go time. Like, humans are the single greatest variable on the planet.
Yeah, and it's the worst. It's the thing that
You're making my nose run.
It's the thing that I appreciate about I mean, you talk about this all the time about guys that don't need a babysitter and guys that you don't have to hold their hand.
Yeah,
like
that's best case scenario.
I get that. But I can still be
frustrated.
I can still be frustrated when that doesn't happen.
Sports isn't played in a myopic lens like that. If I could do everything the way that I like it, shoot, man, I'm not even here. You know what I mean? So like, I don't get it that
hurtful.
God, I can't stand you. I'm just a sarcastic prick. Well, that's hurtful.
I mean, I'm sitting right here.
Incredible.
Thought we were friends. Thought we were having a good time.
I didn't even get to Nico.
We'll get to Nico at some point.
Well, after this break, because maybe it is about maybe he's to the point. Well, we'll take a break. I have a theory. You're probably going to shoot it down, and we'll have to argue some more. Because it may be what happened.
We may have to play nice for a couple minutes so the streamers don't think that we're getting a divorce, but it's okay. We'll make it, guys. That's DB. I'm Ravi.
You come looking cracked out in about 3 weeks. They'll know.
It's Hurrdat Sports Live.
Yeah, I think that transferring, you got to just make sure you're going into a place that is right for you. You know what I'm saying? I think that whatever decision that is made from whoever it is, just, you're going into a new place. So just be prepared to work hard and try to, get in where you fit in, learn the scheme, learn the players. Yeah.
Aspirations can drive us. Sometimes a simple gesture is what fuels the pursuit of a dream. When it's time to make your dream a reality, we are here to help. Centris Federal Credit Union. We are where you are.
In our room, we don't really focus on the outside noise. People can say what they want about us. They can doubt us. They can praise us, but we're not going to let it affect what we do. We lost 3 starters. We lost 3 guys who produced a lot, but at the end of the day, every team loses people, I think. No one, as much as I love them, no one's irreplaceable. Everyone's different in their own ways, and we have a great group coming back this year. People are stepping up to be leaders. You got new guys who are coming along great, just learning how to play together and gel together. It's a different room, but I'm loving where we're at. I'm very confident in us. We have depth, we have talent, and we have energy. It's fun. So, yeah, it's weird the first few days out there when we don't have those guys, Ty, Nash, Jamari, that, for me, they're all I know. They've been here for 2 years with me. So it was a little weird at first, but then once you get through winter without them, you see people stepping up, taking into their new role, and then you get to spring, and it's like, you just got to go out there and play with the guys that are here. You don't think about last year, you think about what's now and what's moving forward and kind of focus on you.
Welcome to Hurrdat Sports Live.
Welcome back, Hurrdat Sports Live. That's DBM Ravi Lulla here at Hurrdat Sports Bar and Grill, where you can get our April specials. They got the portobello mushroom, they got the Southwest sandwich, and don't forget, still a couple days left. Get your Lenten game right with that fish and chips, all here at Hurrdat Sports Bar and Grill, or you can come hang out for reverse happy hour.
Yeah, I had some sketch mushrooms last night, but everything else was legit.
Yeah,
it was kind of giving me canned vibes.
Yeah, that's a bummer.
Yeah.
That was a bummer.
You know what? I meant to tell you, since you were going hard, like you're into like fat shaming and stuff lately, and you were mad at Vlad Guerrero Jr.
He looked better. He's looked better. Like he looks leaner. So we got a goose out here now. Sorry, we had a turkey out here yesterday. I don't know if we said that on the air.
There's two.
And now there's geese out here.
There's two.
Shane, can you take a picture of the geese?
Maybe they ate the tater tots and chicken bones, Shane.
That's what I'm saying. I think the animals ate the chicken. I don't think somebody was out here throwing bones.
I don't think the geese can pry the chicken.
I think the
away
turkey
from
can, though, with the little talons.
Don't
That's
do-
how you imagine me throwing a baseball. So
It is taking the bump.
I'm just saying, ask the people at HQ. Like I was throwing a football pretty good.
No, I saw you at Foaling. No, you don't.
It's fine. Listen, it may not be as pretty as it once was, since I'm a little tighter in the range of motion, but it's fine.
Do you know how many home runs Junior has?
Uno.
Yes.
Hit the first one yesterday.
Right.
He was looking leaner, though.
He heard you.
Yeah.
And he's not going through a divorce.
No, we don't know that. He might be.
I don't think he's married.
Oh.
So anywho.
Maybe breakup, you know?
Shamer.
Breakups can be hard, too.
Yeah.
I'm not shaming him.
It was good to see Strider look kind of like his old self.
Yeah, I got some Ks going. Like,
I'd like to see him come back healthy.
Yeah, it's been, it was April last year?
Baseball's better when I think the Braves are good. And they're decimated by injuries.
It happened for the last few years.
They're trotting out like a JV lineup.
Well, it's a good thing they signed Chris Sale because he always stays healthy.
Still mad that
Always, 100%. I'm mad at the Red Sox for trading Betts. I'm mad at Sale for winning a Cy Young the minute he leaves Boston.
Might be a you thing.
Listen, I'm willing to entertain it. I'm still going to be mad.
My man over here quoting the Mamba mentality. Boy,
It might be a Boston problem.
I've never cheered so hard for a sweep, and I know it's improbable. But if it happens,
no, that's great.
You will never hear the end of it.
I'm
now,
not-
if they get dusted off and lose the series, I mean, feel free to go all in upon my desperation moment. But
I mean, do we want to make a little bet here?
Depends.
We can make a little wager. We're going to talk to Brian Edwards later. We can make a little wager.
Is the win total 1.5?
No, you're calling for a sweep. They got a sweep.
No, that's improbable.
I'll make it sweet for you too. I'll make a little sweet deal. If they sweep, you get an extra $20 on your tab.
Okay.
If they don't sweep, I just take $20 off. So you don't really lose. Like, you don't owe me anything.
Ooh.
So you're at 40 right now.
I get 2-1.
If you're at 40 right now,
Yep.
you get 60 total if they win. If they win all three, if they sweep.
Yeah.
You're back down to 20 if they lose any games. You have literally nothing on the line because you haven't cashed out yet. It's like the stock market, just a little dip if you lose.
Let me think about that.
Okay.
I kind of like that.
I mean, I think that's a fair.
Even though I'm asking them to win 60% of their league games in one weekend.
That's somebody smart said that.
Boy, you're a stone cold trip. I don't even know why my mom thinks you're funny. I think you're ridiculous.
Yeah, I don't.
She said that at dinner last night.
Did
She
she?
said, "You guys are so whatever she said." And I was like, "Well, I am." I'm usually just having to defend myself. Yeah, most of it is the streamers too. They
gas it up.
I mean,
Kobe's finally riding with me. He's been killing me for like 3 weeks, and he's like,
so I can't. I was trying to go back and remember what you did to piss him off.
I can't remember either.
It was one day. It was. I think it was. I don't know, but my man was not having it, and he ain't been the same since.
But he finally agreed with me on the baseball team.
Oh, yeah. Because he's kind of a Denny Downer, too, with the guy's sports. I mean, he was out on basketball.
Yeah, he brought up basketball right after that.
Early.
He brought up basketball right after
that. Yeah, he's just not. Wasn't Kobe the guy that – wasn't he the not serious about basketball by keeping Hoiberg? He went hard a couple of days in a row.
I don't remember. It might
yeah,
have
he's
been
a big bat. He's got some basketball takes.
Yeah, I don't necessarily agree with that. I do think the frustration with the basketball team is real. And I mean, I did say out loud that it might be the best thing for everybody if I know it was a fake rumor, but if Fred had taken like a Texas A&M job and like I think that's an easier.
I will give you credit. At least you're consistent too, because they won the crown, and the first thing you said was, "I don't want to rain on everybody's parade, but like, where was this all year? Where was this at the end of the season?" I'm like, "Can you just stay in the moment?" But you also the same dude that said a team can't play with desperation.
Oh, they can.
So I do like your consistency.
They can play with desperation. It just pisses me off when they don't do it when they should.
You gone from embarrassed to pissed.
Well, it's a short road.
Are you embarrassed? I'm not.
Long and winding road. No, it's a short one. Real little quick trip. Unlike my commute to work every morning now that the interstate's all messed up. What?
I don't know.
At least Nico's got a shorter commute now. He's a California kid back at UCLA.
Yeah, that is.
So you were gonna make me mad. You had an argument.
I wasn't gonna make you mad. What I was gonna say is, what if at this point, right? Because I know you're pissed that he's intimating it's about the offense.
Yeah.
Like, he can't just be telling the truth that, hey, I think I could function in this offense. I got no, you don't have Bieniemy. I got
you got Sinceri.
Yeah. And I think this is going to be good for me. What if he learned his lesson going through this process? What if it's the embarrassment of how it played out publicly, and now he kind of just wants to dial in? He's close to home. So let's go play ball.
So that could be true now. That's not how this started. That's my issue.
But we don't know what he really thought. We heard from everybody else about everybody else.
Nico really thought. But the situation with his representatives is pretty well documented because you have other coaches who have sort of not gone on the record, but have spoken to reporters about this anonymously that, hey, this guy and his representatives were out there looking for more money from anyone that would take their phone call. Whether it's Oregon, who said no. Whether it's Georgia, who said no. Whether it's UCLA and USC back in December, who said no. This dude has been fishing, or his representatives have been fishing for more money for months.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, I'm supposed to believe, like, yes, maybe within the process, and after getting cut ties with Tennessee, maybe now he's embarrassed and he's like, okay, now I want to try and find the right fit. Maybe that's how he landed at UCLA specifically. That's not why he's gone from Tennessee.
Okay.
No, so those can be two different things.
Right. I'm with you. Number one, is this Rico doing the graphic at the bottom?
Yes.
This is sensational. Like, this is really good.
Yeah, no, he's doing a great job.
And this is really good. And you know my favorite thing about this?
What's that?
You can actually read how to pronounce this young man's name so you can stop flipping butchering it.
Iamalaeva? Iamalaeva. Is that better?
Sure. Shout out to my man Rico. Anyway, you're such a pound of flesh guy. What difference? What do you're not? So you're not a pound of flesh guy.
I want people to tell the damn truth. I'm tired. No, I'm not. Listen, I am tired of people lying all the damn time for no reason. Because you know what? They can get away with it, and we let them get away with it. You want to call it a pound of flesh? That's fine. I'm taking my pound of flesh from everybody. Just tell the damn truth. Okay? Because as long as we let them get away with it, they're going to keep up with this BS, whether it's Nico or whether it's Rick Pitino or whether it's whoever else lying to us or Nico Harrison for no reason. Until we say, hey, we don't buy your BS anymore, they're going to keep doing it, and we're going to enable the activity that they're lying about in the first place, right? I'm over it. I'm done with people lying about everything. Knock it off. Listen, if you benched R.J. Lewis, own it. Hey, he wasn't playing very good, so I benched him.
No, you can't go back to that because he told you he was defending R.J. That's your own personal pettiness about him wanting to roll the guy. You don't get to do that.
I don't want him to roll the guy. I want him to tell the truth. Or
he did.
Or don't answer the question.
He did tell the truth. You know why he didn't play. I'm not rolling my guys. Why do you not like that?
So
I'm not going to rehash that, but that's petty.
No, it's not petty. Just tell the truth. Tell the truth or don't say anything. Because every time we allow people to just keep lying to us, then we enable the activity they're lying about. And it gives them carte blanche to just keep lying.
Nico can't be at UCLA because he wants to function in this offense?
That's fine on where he landed at UCLA. That's not why he left Tennessee.
What if he didn't want to leave? What if Heupel was like, look, bro, beat it. All right, I'm tired of handling this with your dad.
How did we get here? How did we get here?
It doesn't have to be him, though. I'm the king of the how did we get here. I get what you're saying, but you're not.
Still hasn't talked. It's still his dad talking.
He's 20, right? So maybe he's in protection mode. Maybe he's in damage control.
He wasn't in protection mode when he was shopping him all over the country?
Okay, listen to what I'm telling you. You're confusing the two. Not senior. I'm talking about the young man. I'm talking about Nico. What if Nico is like, man, what if he's doing what you wanted him to do 3 days ago when I said it would be hard, depending on the relationship you have with your father?
So let me just make sure I understand you correctly. You're advocating for that. For the first time it appears in this situation, Nico is exercising autonomy.
Yes.
And that would be great. That'd be terrific.
Yeah. So
I would love that.
That's not even that far-fetched.
It seems far-fetched based on everything we've seen lead up to this point.
Because listen, it's like going through an ugly divorce. Sometimes you're so embarrassed, you got to get right. Right?
Okay, and he's eating it now?
Yeah, he could just be eating it. He's like, you know what? I'm kind of over this. Like, I just want to play ball. What if, like, that's not far-fetched?
No, that's fine, but we still haven't heard him talk. So we're attributing, I'm just saying we're attributing something to him that we don't know.
Okay.
I mean, that's how it seems to me.
I don't understand what it is about your personality that is so defiant when it comes to if somebody doesn't say something that you want to hear, it's wrong. Like,
no, when somebody lies to me, it's wrong.
You don't know that, though.
I know this.
You don't know that, though.
Here's what I know. That in Josh Heupel's offense is going back a decade. The worst numbers
doesn't matter, Ravi.
Belong to Nico.
No, it doesn't matter.
Why doesn't that matter?
Because it doesn't.
Because it's not a Heupel problem. That's my point.
No, like if we were in the court of law, they would say objection, relevance. What he wants to do, especially if you give that example, he could just want better at UCLA. Maybe that's the springboard. Maybe it's like, you know what? This whole shopping thing, this started. I couldn't really function the way that I wanted to in this offense, given the bad stats that this guy in Omaha, Nebraska, Ravi Lulla, just quoted me as playing. Statistically, I'm kind of an outlier. I haven't been able to get it done in Knoxville. I want to go to Westwood. Like, what if that's the case?
Then why wasn't that the case?
You've only had 36 hours to digest it, and he hasn't taken the goddamn podium.
Why wasn't that the case in the winter portal?
Because he's making $2.4 million, and you kind of want to ride this out. And maybe at the beginning of spring, it wasn't going the way he wanted it to. So dad and representative said, man, Nico's kind of being pushed. These guys are kind of over this back and forth of getting this offense under control. Maybe Heupel had some real speaks with him. I'm going to see what the open market can bear. Wait a minute. I'm going to float this. Shoot. It got back to Tennessee. Bad news beat me home. We got to get while the getting's good. The stories start flying. You haven't heard anybody really say one tangible thing other than Josh Heupel and some folks in the Knoxville media. We haven't heard from Nico.
Mm-hmm.
So Nico may be saying, man, I just want a fresh start. I just want a ball. My career is rapidly dissipating. I want to get to Westwood so I can play some ball and put all this nonsense behind me. I'll take the pay cut. I'm back home. I'm comfortable. Well, how do we know this isn't Dawson Garcia?
So your argument is, I'm just trying to make sure I understand. Your argument is,
it's a really good one.
It's a pretty piece of cheesy argument, but that's fine.
No, because you want to be this staunch moralist that stands on this soapbox like it can't just be what it is. It doesn't always have to be some great conspiracy theory.
It's not a conspiracy. Mine is actually much more plausible.
It's not, because you've only heard from a handler and his goddamn dad. You haven't heard. And the funny thing is if this was 2 days ago, you'd be standing up cheering like some goddamn fanboy that he's standing on his own 2 feet as a young man that's like, you know what? Enough's enough, Dad. Like, I'm gonna take matters in my own hands.
I don't think he's taking anything in his own hands. I think this is his dad too.
Because you don't want to believe him.
No, because that's what it's been this entire time. It's been his dad and his handler the entire time. So now you want me to believe all of a sudden it's him. The argument that you're making is, hey, I was a little miserable last year, but for $2.4 million, I can be miserable.
Where's UCLA's announcement? What, are we going to wait to hear from them before we do? I mean, we do all these accusations?
Don't think he's going to UCLA, or what announcement are you waiting for?
So it would be cool, like if I heard from the school on the arrival and how this came about, right? You know, Foster may come out and say, if in fact he does enroll, he'd say, hey, you know what? We got a guy that we're going to welcome to our locker room. We've talked to this young man. He just wants to play ball. He wants to be closer to home. He's a lot more comfortable. Like, what if that's the case? Would you feel better?
What UCLA has to say about it really doesn't affect how I think about it at all.
Because you want your mind made up. Why would you want to handicap yourself with the facts?
If I'm Deshaun,
the more information you have, the better you can make an informed decision.
Not always. Sometimes information is not relevant. Like if you don't like the stats,
no less relevant than he hasn't functioned at a high level compared to other Tennessee quarterbacks.
If I'm Deshaun Foster, nobody wants to be Deshaun Watson. If I'm Deshaun Foster,
depends on what stage.
Maybe like 6 years ago, maybe.
Yeah.
If I'm Deshaun Foster,
and some people like massages.
I don't think that's what he was paying for. Anyway, if I'm Deshaun Foster and I go, he seems like a good fit for Robert Kraft and the Patriots.
That's tough.
If I'm Deshaun Foster, I understand why UCLA does it from the sense of, hey, we had a really talented, what we view as a really talented quarterback come on the market and become available to us. So we did our due diligence and we brought him on board. Like that doesn't give me any new information. He's better. I would assume he's better than everybody they have in the quarterback room. If they think they can weather whatever locker room issues there might be, that's kind of a no-brainer. Like if they've got the money to do whatever they need to do, whatever that number is, because we don't know at UCLA. So the UCLA part of the equation isn't that I don't care. It's that I don't think there's much to learn there. Now, if Deshaun Foster wants to really get in the weeds and tell me some stuff about like step-by-step how this process went down, yeah, I'll listen to that.
So it simply can't be that he's closer to home and he just gets to go play quarterback without all the other stuff.
Maybe that's how he ends up at UCLA. That's not how he left Tennessee.
Okay, you're going to have to piece together to me why you care that he can't better a bad situation. We know why he left Tennessee. Why can't – so this whole thing, I feel like this is where I got to reset the goalpost. This whole thing that angered you was like, why can't he just be honest about why he's at UCLA?
No, my whole thing is why can't he be honest about why he left Tennessee? Because what they said was –
we know why.
No, but that's not what they said. They said –
who's they?
Whatever quote came out yesterday, his representative and his dad.
That said what?
That said we didn't leave Tennessee because of the money. We left because of the offense. And we had concerns about them going to get offensive linemen and then going to get receivers. And, like, that's not the truth. That's what bothers me. I get why UCLA makes sense for Nico as a landing spot after we get through that part. After we get through the Tennessee part, I don't have a problem with why or how or what he ends up at UCLA. Being closer to home, wanting a fresh start, all of that makes sense to me. I also think, for what it's worth, if there had been the payday out there that he wanted, he wouldn't be at UCLA to be closer to home and whatever else.
You don't know.
I don't know that. I'm saying that's what I believe. I believe if he was able to get either the 2.4 that he was getting from Tennessee somewhere else or the 4 that he was searching somewhere else.
At some point, you want to play 2 years of college football with some peace.
He wouldn't be at UCLA.
You want to play with some peace.
I would think so. But I also
it doesn't have to be a conspiracy theory just because his handlers and his dad appear to have been.
I'm not going on conspiracy. I'm going on what they've told me.
Turnmongers.
On what the reporting has been. That's not conspiracy. They were out searching for more money, and now they want me to believe that they were leaving because of the offense and because of the recruiting.
Here's the deal. A similar monetary option because you don't like where you are is not uncommon. It's not.
Okay.
So if there's a kernel of truth in the fact that they didn't like what was surrounding him, right? Hey, it's going to be a struggle up front. This guy is running for his life. We don't really like this helter-skelter kind of offense. What else is out there where we can still make a bag?
So here's my question.
What? So no.
That's a fair scenario.
Is that a reach?
No, that's not a reach. But here's my question then. If that's the truth, if that's what happened, then and you want to leave Tennessee for a similar number, why are you going out and trying to exploit Tennessee for $4 million if you want to leave Tennessee?
Because I don't know if we have to believe that.
Okay, so you're saying that you don't believe the $4 million part.
So this is what you want me to believe.
No, this is what's been reported.
No,
so that's
I understand that, and much like you know a lot of things that are said here that aren't real true, right?
Okay.
Now let's say it's like this.
Okay.
So you believe that as bad as the situation was, and it doesn't have anything to do with the offense. You think it's plausible that Tennessee was going to pony up another $1.6 million to make him happy to stay?
I think
Does that make sense?
Tennessee was never going to do that. I think they could have asked.
But so okay,
I think they asked for the money. I don't think Tennessee was ever going to do it.
But under that guise though, because we've explained the situation
Mhm.
that the offense was this way and it was a little frenetic and he's not very healthy. He's having a hard time. He's running for his life. It's kind of made up. They ended up handing the ball off because they had a really, really good running back. They became run heavy. So because they did these things, let me see if we can ask for more money so he'll stay. That's what you think happened? Because you think that they think his value was increased based on the season that he had a year ago.
I think they had zero self-awareness about the situation.
Okay.
That's what I think.
Okay.
Because it seems to be they were like, hey, this is a 5-star kid, because it wasn't just Tennessee because they were shopping him around other places that also were not interested in whatever number they were floating. That I think they were not self-aware about how Nico was viewed by both Tennessee and the rest of college football.
Okay.
That's what I think to be true.
I can't read X-Gen's travels, but he said this is so bad. Don't make fun of me.
You want me to read it?
Don't make fun of me, X-Gen. Is DB completely discounting the fact Oregon broke this whole thing open by telling? No, I'm not. But what I'm telling you is if they're shopping, the reason that they're shopping Nico isn't necessarily, and plus I already admitted that, number one. Let me go back and say this again. If he doesn't like the situation that's going on at Tennessee, for whatever the reason, it doesn't behoove him to ask Tennessee for more money. You would see what he could go get on the open market. Like, I've already said that, but I don't understand the relevance in terms of how that makes the case of what you ordinarily wouldn't do if it was the cost of doing business. You don't know what the cost of doing business is, so you ask. If Oregon broke the story, it's irrelevant to the theory that's pissing you off. It doesn't matter who broke the story. It actually helps my discussion that it wasn't Tennessee. Because why would you go back and ask Tennessee for money when you're not at practice? You're not at practice because apparently the boat's rocked that you don't want to be there.
My understanding was they asked for Tennessee before he missed practice.
So here's the
That's
deal.
my understanding of the timeline.
Tennessee caught wind of the fact that he was shopping his services well before he missed practice. I don't know what the timeline is, but it wasn't the day before or the day after.
I mean, it started in December.
Yeah, maybe they were just fed up with his BS.
Fair.
Okay.
Yeah.
So people do that all the time. They do it all the time. So if there's egg on the face, and this is played out publicly without Nico being able to say one thing, and remember, you're the same guy that 2 days ago said, you intimated that he should just cut ties with his dad and do his own thing.
Here's my question, though.
Did you? Stop.
No, I did. I said that.
Okay.
But why can't Nico say anything?
See that?
No, you said he can't.
You're back on the goddamn Patino thing.
No, but
why can't Rick just say this? Why can't?
No, you just said
sometimes people are going to communicate or not communicate in a way that you don't like.
That's fine.
And it doesn't mean they have some nefarious motive.
You just said Nico can't say anything. Why can't he?
Because he really hasn't had time to say, hey, I'd like to call a press conference and explain. Maybe he's a lot like me, where he would just say, you know what? I'm going to go to work at this age. I'm not going to continue to rock the boat. I don't want to make this about me. It's gotten to be that way, and I'm uncomfortable. I just want to play ball.
I
know, because you're a skeptic by nature.
I would have a hard time with that. I really would.
He's still only 20.
That's fine.
He's still only 20.
I'm not saying it's out of the
question. So he's not going to be like some eloquent spokesperson. Listen, I'm the same guy, and maybe I'm just the good piece of cheese. I'm a protector, right? I'm the same guy that didn't want Taylor Martinez to talk to the press.
Yeah.
Right? Hey,
because nothing good ever happened.
Stop running him out there. Yeah. He does not want to talk to the press. He's not good at it. We make fun of him every time he takes the podium. Just don't have him do it.
Yeah, there's no need for it.
Because I understand what it's like to be under the goddamn pressure cooker and have to speak to people, and you're not sure how the message is going to be conveyed.
Sure.
So you don't say anything at all.
Yeah.
He's still only 20.
I get that. At some point, though, this thing has gotten away from him so badly.
You want the 20-year-old to be. This is myopic. Best case scenario.
What did I say 2 days ago? I wanted his dad to take the bullet.
Yeah. Does his dad strike you as the type of guy, so far from the reports that you've heard, that's going to stand up there and defend his son?
If he's trying to protect his kid, that was the thing to do. If he was trying to protect his kid, if he was trying to do what was best for Nico after this thing got away from him, that was the thing to do.
Yeah.
And he also doesn't strike me as the guy, because you're right, he doesn't strike me as the guy that's going to take the bullet for his kid. He also, or in this situation at least. I don't know what it's like outside of this. He also doesn't strike me as a guy, because of that is not shopping him for the money. Like that's how it comes off to me.
So, okay. So if you do realize that a person in that position that has a market that will bear a certain amount for his talents is going to ask what he's worth on the open market.
This is why I brought the self-awareness thing up, because as far as we can tell, and again, the NIL numbers are so sketchy everywhere that we don't really know. As far as I can tell, Nico was making about as much as anybody as a quarterback. Mm-hmm. His numbers, his performance would not indicate that he should make more than everybody else as a quarterback.
So is that your real issue?
No, my issue is I think there was zero self-awareness in this situation.
Yeah, that'll happen at 20. I hate to break the news to you.
Are we talking about Nico or are we talking about his dad? Because I'm talking about his dad.
Well,
I'm talking about his handler.
Well, you keep trying to infer, and you're having the luxury or the benefit of talking about both entities. Like you formed an opinion based on how his dad and his handler has handled it, but then we're also coming down on Nico, even though we haven't really heard anything from him yet. But you still want to put the onus on him on why he wants to be at UCLA.
I have no opinion on Nico right now. This is all about his dad and his handler.
Okay.
Because
that changes the tenor of my discussion dramatically.
I have no idea
So now I get to say, why do you want to hear from him so quickly? And then you can say, you know what, DB? Nico's not who I want to hear from.
No.
I want to hear from. Then say that, and I would have gotten off of it.
Okay.
I would have gotten off of it.
Well, we landed somewhere. Because Nico, this isn't a Nico problem, as far as I know, because he hasn't said anything.
Now, that's a total 180 from what I heard 10 minutes ago. You asked me 3 times. Why can't Nico talk?
You brought that he can't talk.
Because I said he may just want to go to work.
Which is fine. But that doesn't mean he can't. It means he's choosing not to.
But you don't want to hear from him anyway. You want to hear from his dad and his handler, right?
If he's broken free from them and he made this decision,
it's not about Nico.
You
just said it's not about Nico.
The Tennessee part's not about Nico.
Okay.
If the UCLA part's about Nico, then I need to hear from Nico.
All right.
The Tennessee part, his dad and his handler are lying.
I want to make sure we're clear.
As mud.
Crystal.
We've got Brian Edwards coming up next here on Hurrdat Sports Live.
Yeah, I think that, transferring, you got to just make sure you're going into a place that is right for you. You know what I'm saying? I think that whatever decision that is made from whoever it is, just, you're going into a new place. So just be prepared to work hard and try to, get in where you fit in, learn the scheme, learn the players. Yeah.
aspirations can drive us. Sometimes a simple gesture is what fuels the pursuit of a dream. When it's time to make your dream a reality, we are here to help. Centris Federal Credit Union. We are where you are.
In our room, we don't really focus on the outside noise. People can say what they want about us. They can doubt us. They can praise us, but we're not going to let it affect what we do. We lost 3 starters. We lost 3 guys who produced a lot, but at the end of the day, every team loses people, I think. No one, as much as I love them, no one's irreplaceable. Everyone's different in their own ways, and we have a great group coming back this year. People are stepping up to be leaders. You got new guys who are coming along great, just learning how to play together and gel together. It's a different room, but I'm loving where we're at. I'm very confident in us. We have depth, we have talent, and we have energy. It's fun. So, yeah, it's weird the first few days out there when we don't have those guys, Ty, Nash, Jamari, that, for me, they're all I know. They've been here for 2 years with me. So it was a little weird at first, but then once you get through winter without them, you see people stepping up, taking into their new role, and then you get to spring, and it's like, you just got to go out there and play with the guys that are here. You don't think about last year, you think about what's now and what's moving forward and kind of focus on you.
You're listening to Hurrdat Sports Live.
We're back here on Hurrdat Sports Live, presented by Centris Federal Credit Union. That's DB. I'm Ravi. Lulla here at Hurrdat Sports Bar and Grill. We are joined now by our friend Brian Christopherson from Husker247. Oh, my God. Why is Brian Christopherson on my head so much?
I don't know. I got you shook.
My Lord. Brian Edwards, our Vegas insider from MajorWager.com. What's up, B?
What's happening, fellas? How are we doing?
Now, the real question is, how are you doing? How are you doing after a 4-day bender?
I'm good. I'm completely recovered, feeling great. But the blackjack tables were not that great to me. I did get a picture of Dr. J. Met him. He only had 5 chicks with him at dinner.
Oh, Julie is still being the doc, huh?
from the University of Massachusetts. Yes.
Wow. Where'd you eat?
Oh, it was this place at Hurrdat, some restaurant. It was good. He had a table outside, him and 6 ladies. Or I'm sorry, 5 ladies. 6 times.
Yeah. I mean, who's counting at that point?
Sure.
So were you consistent with the Bud Heavy? Or did you?
I delved into a little bit of Tito's soda.
Oh, well, living on the wild side. Jeez.
Right. Well, actually, at the UFC, they didn't have Bud Heavy, so it was $17 Bud Lights. My gosh,
ain't no hill for. You're all right. I mean, you just dip into the old seat cushion.
In the Gators vault, although the blackjack table got some of it, but yeah, that UFC, it is fun and it is expensive.
Hey, were you disappointed in the card at all?
I was disappointed in my bets because I had Krylov, who Reyes dusted. I had Krylov in multiple parlays, and that parlay was kind of my biggest bet. I won a little with Volk and Patty, but I lost with Bryce. But Krylov was I had him to win inside the distance. Krylov crushed me. That killed me. Him just basically hurt my night. I mean, I didn't get destroyed, but I think I lost 200.
Yeah. So surprised that Lopez just kind of got pummeled the way he did, or was that about what you saw coming?
No, I was very torn on that one. I kind of took Volk at the last minute. And in fact, the one parlay that I did not have Krylov tied to was what I had Volk finishing. So I didn't have a straight bet with Volk. I messed up missing the minus 120 early in the week. I mean, it was minus 170 by fight time. But I had him in a parlay with Patty and gosh, who am I forgetting? Oh, Rodriguez.
Are you over the Kobe Covington stuff?
Oh my gosh, and Patty nailed it. He's just trying to keep himself relevant. I mean, what is just go? God, he's got all these ugly girls on his arm too. Why, bro? If you're trying to do a brag, I mean, bring a 7.5 to the table, dude. He's got 4s and 5s on his arm, thinking he's cool. I'm like, bro, what is your deal?
I thought the Batty was pretty impressive, man. Good,
very
good chin. Handled Chandler's pressure. I was impressed.
Very impressed. And where did I hear? I feel like I read something yesterday where they're talking about Bilal's got a fight scheduled, so it's going to be Islam and Topuria. It's got to be right because I listened to Topuria on Rogan for a little bit yesterday. I was going to say if Islam doesn't want to fight Topuria and he gets to have his way, then maybe make Topuria and Patty contender or an title eliminator fight. But I think Topuria will get the title shot.
I see you're a glutton for punishment. We're going to dip back into the non-betting association. Let's start with the Heat and your Hawks. I mean, Trae Young's going to be a little lighter in the pocketbook after his fine, but he couldn't care less. He acting like a 5-year-old. But you don't like the vibe for your Hawks?
Not at all. I like the Hawks here. The Heat beat them by double digits the last 2 meetings. Granted, both of those were in Miami, and Atlanta won the 2 meetings in Atlanta. But I just liked how Miami looked last night. Hated how the Hawks looked the other night. Head coaching advantage, Spoelstra. I'll go Heat.
Why do you think the line is so low? I mean, they hammer them.
Yeah, I guess just Atlanta won the 2 home games during the regular season. I guess. I mean, I think the Heat should be favored. Maybe they will be by tomorrow. Who knows?
Memphis, the other game tomorrow night, 6.5-point favorites over Dallas. Dallas looked pretty impressive yesterday. What do you have there?
Yeah, I'm going to go Dallas plus 6.5. I mean, they had so many injuries since the Davis trade, but with the exception of Kyrie, they're healthy now, or at least 4 of the 5 guys they thought they would have starting. I mean, I like their inside. especially their interior defense with Lively and Anthony Davis. And then you got Gafford coming off the bench. And then Clay shot it well last night. I'm not saying they're going to win, but I'll take the Mavs plus 6.5.
And all right, so this team is hard to figure out, but you got to like Detroit's chances if they can get through the first round. That's a good basketball team, but +7 seems pretty high when New York doesn't beat a lot of good teams. What'd you make the line?
So I made New York 4. So I think Detroit +7 is the way to go. And then you look at the head-to-head meetings. So New York killed them the first game. That was in Detroit. But Detroit won the last 3 head-to-head meetings, won both at MSG as 8-point underdog both times. And they just have had no answers for Cunningham. When they won at MSG 120-111 December 7th, Cunningham had a triple-double, 29, 15, and 10. And Brunson played great that game, 31 and 10 assists, but the Pistons out-rebounded them 43-31. Okay, the next time they played at MSG, Detroit won 124-119. Cunningham had 36 points, 4 assists. Brunson was awesome again, had 31 points, 11 assists, but it wasn't good enough. And then last week, but nobody was resting starters because they were, jockeying for seeding. Pistons won 115-106 as a 3.5-point favorite. Cunningham, 36 points and 8 assists. So they won both times at MSG, and I can get 7. I know that obviously the playoff experience is way huge advantage to Knicks, but maybe Detroit's too young to even care about all that. I got to go Pistons +7. And I'm not against them for the series. I think it's like +300 on the series price. I'm not against a little small play on that for the series.
My team, the Warriors, go up against Houston, which I'm pretty nervous about. They're currently a 1.5-point dog, but you like them.
I do. They played at Houston twice with Jimmy Butler. They won 105-98. Without him, they lost 91-90, but we're getting 1.5. So that would be a cover. With Jimmy, they're 24-7 straight up, 18-13 against the spread. They've got Jimmy in this one. Let's go Golden State +1 or 1.5.
All right, going back to the well, you're going to get them early. You like what they have coming back. The Gators to repeat?
Yep, I'm going to go 25-1. So go ahead.
Too good to pass up?
Well, here's the deal. I think unless Condon he's testing the waters.
Yep.
But if he's like late first round, early second, which is where he is right now, I think he comes back because we'll have an NIL deal for him. Him and Houck, they get along, and they all, get along great. I think Houck may test the waters here in a few days too. But we got the kid from Princeton yesterday who was high school teammates with Houck. He was one of I think he's 26 overall player in the portal at 24/7 Sports. We've got 3 roster spots open, which we're in the mix for some of the good transfers. And, I think Condon and Houck are going to come back. And if they come back, I think that number is going to be 15-1. So, yeah, I'm taking it now. And even if one of the two out of Houck and Condon don't come back, we still got Hanlockton and Alexis, and I still think we got a pretty good squad, and I trust Golden to get into the portal. And we got Aberdeen. Like Aberdeen, didn't play as much. I think Aberdeen can be an all-SEC type of player when he's getting 30, 35 minutes a game. So, I'm going to do that, 25-1.
There you go. When are you going to take the over on whatever Billy Napier's got?
And my confidence does not carry over to football quite yet, gentlemen.
How much the Homer Network we were logging on to today?
Okay, yeah. I'm homering hoops. Homering hoops right now.
That's our guy, Brian Edwards, Vegas Insider, Major Wager. B, we appreciate it as always. Brian, not Christopherson. That's Brian Edwards. We'll get it right. I apologize, B.
No problem. Thanks, guys. Y'all have a great weekend.
Thanks, B.
Coming up next, Brian Christopherson's colleagues, because it's Thursday, not Wednesday. It is Michael Bruntz, Husker247, coming next here on Hurrdat Sports Live.
Yeah, I think that, transferring, you got to just make sure you're going into a place that is right for you. You know what I'm saying? I think that whatever decision that is made from whoever it is, just, you're going into a new place. So just be prepared to work hard and try to, get in where you fit in, learn the scheme, learn the players. And yeah.
Aspirations can drive us. Sometimes a simple gesture is what fuels the pursuit of a dream. When it's time to make your dream a reality, we are here to help. Centris Federal Credit Union. We are where you are.
In our room, we don't really focus on the outside noise. People can say what they want about us. They can doubt us. They can praise us, but we're not going to let it affect what we do. We know we lost 3 starters. We lost 3 guys who produced a lot, but at the end of the day, every team loses people, I think. No one, as much as I love them, no one's irreplaceable. Everyone's different in their own ways, and we have a great group coming back this year. People are stepping up to be leaders. You got new guys who are coming along great, just learning how to play together and gel together. It's a different room, but I'm loving where we're at. I'm very confident in us. We have depth, we have talent, and we have energy. It's fun. So, yeah, it's weird the first few days out there when we don't have those guys, Ty, Nash, Jamari, that, for me, they're all I know. They've been here for 2 years with me. So it was a little weird at first, but then once you get through winter without them, you see people stepping up, taking into their new role, and then you get to spring, and it's like, you just got to go out there and play with the guys that are here. You don't think about last year, you think about what's now and what's moving forward and kind of focus on you.
Welcome to Hurrdat Sports Live.
We're back here on Hurrdat Sports Live, presented by Centris Federal Credit Union. That's DB. I'm Ravi, Lulla here at Hurrdat Sports Bar and Grill. We'll be joined in just a second here by Michael Bruntz of Husker247. Interesting stuff with the transfer portal, though. I know B was talking about it a little bit with Florida, but Omaha got themselves a new point guard, Mark Brown from Snow College.
Yeah.
Got a interesting play. Snow was really good last year.
It's a good basketball school the last years too. So, interesting, and I think we're to the point now where we kind of trust Crutch in terms of what he's after.
I do wonder
in terms of style of play.
Would have liked somebody with a little more length, because that was a big thing for him with length and athleticism. He's only 5'11", so you wonder. I'm sure athletically he matches the profile. Otherwise, they wouldn't have gone after him. But lengthwise, you do wonder a little bit. J.J. White was a little longer, even though he wasn't super tall. I think 6'1", 6'2". Still pretty long though, so it'll be interesting to see how that fits. But it seems to be a good pickup.
All right, do you expect Creighton to still stay busy in the portal?
I mean, they got 2 spots left.
That's what.
I mean, I think we might see a little Nebraska situation here where it's like, hey, compete it out, figure it out. Because I think there's certain guys that have an expectation of playing time. Guys that have come in like Josh Dix and Owen Freeman, I imagine, have a certain expectation of playing time, and I don't know who Owen Freeman's fighting that playing time for, so he's probably pretty safe there. But other than that, you look at it and you go, okay, we've got a lot of wings, we got a lot of 4s. We need somebody to figure out how to play point guard for us. Go find some spots.
Or an offense initiator.
Yeah, whatever you want.
Yeah.
A primary facilitator, whatever you want to call it. We need ball handlers and shot creators, whether it's for themselves or others.
Graves
is interesting. I like a lot of what they've done in the portal.
I think it's a pretty good roster.
I do too. I mean, and then the rumor you've got the rumor about, not a rumor. I mean, Blake Harper was on campus yesterday. Don't know if he's going to end up coming here or not. There was rumors about Maryland and USC, he's also visited, but that's a roster that could get even a little bit better because Blake Harper is would be one of the biggest gets of the cycle. I'm sure Nebraska's continuing to work as well as we bring in Michael Bruntz, Husker247 here. What's up, Bruntz?
Hey, what's up?
Oh, we're just trying to keep the peace. Ravi makes it very difficult, but we're doing much better after the first hour and a half. It was spicy and dicey at best, Bruntz.
I heard you guys. Nico's got you in some kind of way, is what I understand. Is that true?
Nico's dad.
Hey, did bad news beat us home, Bruntz? Who clued you in?
I'm always watching. I'm always paying attention. You know who never asked for more money though, guys?
That
Bo Jackson.
Mic drop.
Now Marcus did, but Bo didn't.
Yeah, I think Bo Jackson's just got dropped off in a little McDonald's sack in his dorm room.
Yeah,
it worked.
Well,
those were the days. That's how we used to
good
do
old
it.
days, the bagmen.
Let me ask you something, Bruntz, because Robbie's trying to sweeten this betting pot. I'm in him for $20.
You're at 40. You're
40.
40.
I mean, I'm in him for $40. I just kind of piecemeal, $10, $20 bets here and there. So early in the week, I was talking to Kevin Suits, and I'm like, Nebraska, it's go time, right? We need to be thinking sweep. And Suits was very diplomatic, similar records, even though Nebraska's played the tougher schedule, and Nebraska has 5 conference wins. And Ravi was like, you can't be asking for 60% of the wins in one weekend. And I came back with, they need to dial in. The RPI gives them a little juice, up 8 spots. And Ravi is sweetening the pot. So if Nebraska sweeps Northwestern, I can't lose. I really can't lose any money. I would still be plus 20, and I could win $40 more. So he's going to give me 2 to 1.
You can win $20 more.
Oh,
you can go from 40 to 60, but if you lose, you go from 40 to 20. So you won't owe me any money.
It's just a $20 bet then. That's not that fun.
Right, but you don't owe me anything.
But see, odds are against me for Nebraska to get 60% of their conference wins in one series. But I do think, Bruntz, that Nebraska will have a different sense of urgency. He was not very happy that I suggested that. Would you believe that to be the case?
That there's a different sense of urgency?
Yes.
I'd buy it. I mean, I think that my sense is that there's been frustration that when there's been kind of like an obvious inflection point of like, hey, momentum is starting now. Good baseball is going forward. It has not happened yet. I would have thought that coming off that Oregon State series, that would have been a pretty good time to start. Get the ball rolling down the hill a little bit. But I don't know. I mean, this has to be it. I mean, the win on Tuesday wasn't pretty, but they got it done. And, you know, we're on the good side of a Tuesday night game in a series that have typically gone the other way. So maybe that's a sign of times changing. They should have everybody back healthy this weekend, knock on wood, once probably the most awful flu bug is done running its course through the whole team. But no, I think this is a chance for Nebraska. Nebraska has a chance to sweep this weekend. I mean, I think you're starting to see good signs on the offense. And I think we've said it on here before, guys, like Nebraska's not going to win a lot of 3-2 games are not how Nebraska's going to win over the back half of this season. It's going to have to be like 9-5, 10-7. Like, you're going to have to score some runs, and it at least feels like you're trending in a positive way. I mean, Overbeek's finally hitting the ball. Butenbach is still hitting the ball. Sanderson's starting to hit. So, you know, I think
those some signs.
Yeah, and I mean, you look at what's left on the schedule. I mean, you only play one more team with a winning conference record right now, so everybody that you're playing is right in your neighborhood. So why not? Can you make I would say sweep this weekend. That's where I would go.
I guess so. To answer your question, why not? Is I feel like they've shown me who they've been. You know?
No, that's fair. I mean, that's
to your point. They've had a lot of opportunities to be like, all right, it's go time, and like, oh, we got a little momentum, and like, DB used the term desperation mode. I'm like, how is it just now that you're desperate? I mean, I don't know. That's where my pushback was. Like, I feel like they've just shown me that this is who they're going to be.
They're just an inconsistent bunch. I mean, that's certainly plausible too. I mean,
maybe they get a little RPI boost too, right? You see that 8 spots in the RPI, which I know they pay close attention to. I mean, I could be a little injection, right? Like, not that you'd care, but like a good piece of meat.
Well, they're up 13 points they're up 13 after the Creighton series. You still got K-State on the docket. You still got Kansas on the docket. I mean, you're not going to get much help from the Big Ten now, but you can do some stuff in the midweeks to make that RPI look a little bit better. So that's there. But yeah, Ravi's point's correct. I mean, this is a maddeningly inconsistent team, and that's why I think you're just going to need the offense, I think, to kind of carry a little bit. It helps a ton that Tucker Timmerman's back. I mean, that's not to be overlooked in everything. I mean, the guy, 58 days after getting his face rearranged, comes out and gives you 2 really good, more than 2 innings against a really good offense. I mean, that's not nothing.
Yeah, I think I get the RPI thing, and they're still in it. They've got an opportunity. I don't know if I've just got like Nebraska basketball PTSD, because we had the same talk with their net rankings and stuff, right? Where it's like, hey, they're kind of on a skid, but there's like the ranking, like the metrics still gave them a chance. I just, at a certain point, and I thought Nebraska had a better shot than Nebraska basketball had a better shot than Nebraska baseball does at this point. I'm having a hard time unless, you know, getting some guys back, getting over the flu bug, stuff like that. Like, there's tangible things to tell me that they're going to turn it around. Like, I just have maybe they can light switch this thing, but it seems pretty late in the game for me.
Yeah, I mean, they've also done it before too, right? Like, they've light switched it before, and it was largely the same group last year. You know, I do think though, you know, when you start talking at large, I mean, they got to make it to Omaha first. Like, I mean, that's before we even talk RPI. I mean,
I think that's where the desperation comes in a little bit. Like, you're up against it. You got to get to the tournament.
Yeah. So there's that. I mean, even if they get on a run here, I mean, you're still going to be kind of it's going to be a really kind of weird looking resume, right? Like, you're going to have a lot of wins over ranked opponents. You're going to have some stinkers in there too that aren't going to look, you know, very good when you're held up against other teams. But I mean, that's the benefit of scheduling tough, right? Like, if you schedule tough early in the season and you win some of those games, that has the potential to carry you for a while and you know, at least keep you in the conversation longer than it probably should. So, you know, that it's a gamble to a degree. I mean, you know, Purdue went the complete other way and played nobody and looked great for the first month of the season, and now they're, you know, right back down there with Nebraska too. So, you know, Nebraska chose their path, and they were able to benefit from it because so far they've beaten those tough teams that are on their schedule.
Are you surprised to look up at the standings, especially after what the sentiment was after the series versus Iowa, to see them at 14-4 in the conference? Or you think are record related or schedule related?
Yeah, I think it's schedule related. I mean, I mean, it's a good team. Like I don't, not to take anything away from Iowa at all. I mean, Obermueller on Friday night, I mean, there was a reason why major league teams were kind of salivating over him last year. I mean, the spin rate stuff on him is totally legit.
They're considerably behind Nebraska in the RPI.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's the scheduling piece of it. And they've got Oregon State playing a random weekend in May in Des Moines. That's going to be a really big series for them to maybe kind of freshen it up a little bit. I know everybody's kind of got them as a last four in, but they're going to have to keep it rolling because I don't think in conference they have a ton of opportunities to really beef up their RPI. But that's a good team. I mean, they've handled their business in conference. They can hit. They've always been able to piece together a pretty decent weekend rotation. So, I think on Nebraska's part of it, there's probably a little bit of frustration from the way that Friday and Saturday played out, where you felt like you got an opportunity to maybe win that series, but you just didn't do it. So, not surprising to see them there, but I mean, they had a decent team last year too, but they came to the scheduling fork in the road, and last year they went difficult and didn't win any of those games, and that's how you get left at home whenever it's tournament time.
Bruntz, so if I'm doing my math and counting correctly here, they've got 5 Big Ten series left, so they're basically smack dab in the middle of their Big Ten schedule. What does it look like? I know DB is calling for a sweep this weekend, which I
just say you got to be thinking it.
Sure, yeah, and you probably need to get a couple over the course of these next 5. But what would be your goal? Is it like, hey, win 2 out of every 3? You basically flip the first half record to the second half record. You go 5-10, now you go 10-5. Like, what do you think should be the goal if the goal right now is just get to Omaha?
Yeah, I mean, I think the goal has to be you win every series and you potentially sweep at home. Like sweeps are hard. Like that, there's that piece of it, but that's got to be the goal. I mean, you've got Northwestern coming in here, who gave up 27 runs in the midweek to Northern Illinois. You've got Michigan coming in that, they've kind of been all over the place. They're the only team that's over 500 right now in conference that Nebraska sees. I believe they're 8-7. And Minnesota, who's, struggling and, kind of had they're a weird team too, where like they've got a really good RPI because they beat Arizona State. They won a series at Arizona State. They've beaten some good teams early in the year. I think they beat Oregon State too. But I mean, those are the series that when you're at home and you have a chance to sweep, and you need to get that win on Sunday, and you're wearing the black caps and it's championship Sunday. You got to do it. And I think one of the storylines of the year is, Nebraska has just not gotten very good pitching on Saturdays and Sundays. I mean, it really is tough to win series if on Sunday you're having to bring in your relievers, or on Saturday you're bringing in those relievers before the 5th inning. It just is tough. And Timmerman coming back helps a lot there. But I mean, down the stretch, you need to get a little bit more depth into those starts from your non-Will Walsh guys.
Yeah, which is going to be interesting because you think you found your closer in Broderick. I think you know what you want to do on Fridays with Christo coming in with Walsh. Sunday does kind of seem to be the key if they can get that piece figured out.
Yeah, well, and I think that was the tough part of the Iowa series was, most of the guys that they would kind of bring in. I mean, they kind of have a schedule to who they bring in behind what guys. They like a little bit of a different look from what, the reliever, from what the starter was doing. And, they had a number of their guys at home with the flu. I mean, Worthley wasn't there. Yasa wasn't there. I think Christo was back at the hotel on Sunday. So it's, that made it tough, but yeah, you've got to get a little bit more depth from those starts. And, I think if you can do that, even some of the freshmen, I mean, Blackowitz and Bender, I mean, they've had to lean on them a little bit more on weekends than I think they maybe wanted to, but those guys are starting to play and pitch pretty well in their own right. But yeah, I mean, it's just been tough to kind of line everything up right now. And we'll see if they can do it this weekend. They've got to do it this weekend.
Bruntz, switching gears to football here with you. Obviously, just have a couple guys in the portal so far for Nebraska. We knew about Ardley Gilmore before, and then obviously Jack McAllister goes in yesterday. I don't think anyone's too concerned about either of those. Are you kind of keeping your eye out for more activity, or you think it might be a slow period for Nebraska here?
There'll be more activity. I think I'm not expecting I'm not expecting a ton of surprises, I guess, is probably the best way I would put it. I mean, we still don't know what the roster rules situation is going to be from the settlement. So I'll be curious to see how many guys, have to actually leave. I mean, they're going to have to get rid of some guys, unfortunately, and there's some guys that are going to have to move on to other situations. But, with the way the schedule is for Nebraska spring ball, I mean, they're technically not done until after the portal window closes. So it's a little bit of a different decision too, that okay, I'm going to leave in the middle of spring practice here. That's, I think, a little bit of a differentiator for Nebraska with the portal. But I mean, I think it's going to be relatively quiet. I mean, I think Nebraska's done a pretty good job of being pretty clear with guys about where they fall on the pecking order. Even John Butler was saying earlier this week that, they feel like they've got a pretty solid two deep. I mean, I think they've kind of got things organized in their minds about how it's going to look and who's going to factor and who's not. So I would hope, and I don't think that there's a ton of mystery over there about where guys are. So I would lean towards a little bit more of a quieter period for Nebraska. You're not going to see a line of guys going into the portal, I don't think.
Yeah, we keep quoting Coach Rule last week with what he said about the secondary and the number of potential starters he sees, and him kind of waxing poetic. It was kind of doubled down a little bit with Butler, where he says he feels like he's got a good idea of the two deep. Level of surprise that secondary seems to have taken shape the quickest after all the hand-wringing and consternation in the offseason about their numbers.
Yeah, well, there's still a lot of them. That hasn't changed. It's, I don't know, I guess when you kind of you had the numbers, I guess, in that group, and that's certainly a discussion point. But I think you probably could have, even back in February, said these are the guys. You kind of do your tiers, right? You got some guys that are above the line, some guys that aren't going to be above the line. So I don't know. And I mean, does the fact that John Butler works closely with the secondary, does that also kind of factor that he has a pretty good read on where guys are at and where guys were at coming from? Out of the bowl. I mean, that's the value too of the bowl practices, right? Was you got a pretty good look at some of those younger guys and what they might be able to do and be able to project where they were potentially going to help you this spring. So, I mean, a little bit of a surprise because you had a lot to sort through, but I mean, also not hugely surprised. I mean, I think that position group, based on what they've said, I mean, I think there's a pretty good potential to mix and match and play situationally back there.
That's what he likes. You.
Who, what?
Situationally, just moving guys around
yes.
with the dimes and the nickel. Here's the other thing, though, Bruntz. Sorry to steal it from this question. That's the only time I'll be nice to Ravi. I had to apologize real quick, Bruntz.
You're getting soft.
I know. I went hard earlier, so I'm kind of.
He probably got a text from his mom, told him to be nice to him.
That ain't it. I haven't heard from her yet.
Damon, stop yelling at that poor boy.
Mom, did you not hear his first 30 minutes? He was borderline offensive. Couple back to Africa jokes this morning already, Bruntz.
You brought it up.
He came in hot.
I did not bring up Marcus Garvey. You did. That's on you.
Oh,
That's on you.
See, Bruntz. So here's the deal with Coach Rule talking about wanting to be multiple and play so many guys. You pit that against the conversation that he had with the DBs. Inside linebacker may a little bit thin, maybe a little thin. He said he's got a 3-man rotation, what he likes, but they've always wanted to be able to play 3 there. What were your takeaways from kind of intimating that D-line may go into fall camp? Is that because they're looking for the benchmark, or because they have more capable bodies, or both?
I think both. I mean, I think that's. Did it surprise you that they would say that the defensive line is going into the fall? It didn't me. I mean, I just kind of looking at what's there. I think you have a pool of guys that you can draw from, but I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's not a lot of proven depth. I think there's some guys in that group that you're going to have to rely on that you're not going to really know, how things are going to stack up until you get out there against Cincinnati. I mean, I think there's a couple guys in that group who are going to be really important to, kind of what that overall group can be. I mean, I think they'll be okay in the aggregate. I mean, not to Giambi this thing, but I mean, I do think
Bar finally rocking the A's hat today.
Yeah. So I do think that's gonna, they're gonna have to figure some things out. And I think there's guys that are gonna factor in that group that aren't participating this spring either. I mean, I think Jalen George is a guy they really like. There's some other guys that are limited, so that didn't shock me as much. That he was kind of forthright about that's still a work in progress, because I mean there's not a Nash or a Ty in that group right now, at least to the level they're playing at last year. So you're going to need that group to kind of be a strength of a group, not necessarily leaning on 1 or 2 players.
I'll be curious to see what the finished product, the body type of Judy looks like, because I don't think he needs to be playing at 300. I think he's probably closer to like a 285 guy, and he's going to kind of learn to handle the rigor. So that's kind of a lot of it, right? Is
it as simple as just him?
So probably not, right? You need a little more. You need some experience and a little more know-how from a guy like Keona Davis, who you feel like is uber talented. But I mean, repetitively, like you see head down, you got to get down. You still need the rigor of seeing multiple fronts and multiple looks. So maybe with an inexperienced group, that's the part that takes time, because I think consistency of the rep as a D lineman is probably as important as splash plays or potential, or because when you bust, it's
so that's what I think the difference is. Like last year, I think consistency of the rep was really solid. I think splash plays left a little bit to be desired. I think splash play potential is higher with this group. We
just
aren't
to do
there
the right
yet
thing,
on the consistency of reps.
So maybe that's the part, Brunsey, that they're kind of talking about,
It's interesting watching Terry Braden coach too, because like he does not let a rep go poor,
even the stance, right? It's like, what are we talking about with our 3-point stance? That 3-point stance, it's like,
yeah.
I mean, gone are the days of get comfortable, right? Like get to where you're comfortable, butt down, just like, no, they're very particular.
And they repeat it and they repeat it and they repeat it if you don't get it right. Like I noticed that the first open thing, it was like, okay, they were working their way down the field a little bit with the sled, and there were guys and even veterans that were having to repeat things just because it wasn't just as they wanted it. So I thought that was interesting. I mean, that's not probably a novel thing, but I noticed it.
Bruntz, last thing for me before we let you go here. We talk a lot about Nebraska and who they might lose to the portal. If Nebraska targets somebody from the portal, what position group do you think that's in?
Well, at punter. looking for a punter now, right?
That was quick.
Yeah. So there's that. I think, I don't know. They're probably like everybody, right? Like you're window shopping for the lines, just seeing what's there. I mean, if you're a defensive lineman with any kind of production right now in the portal, I mean, you could probably start buying some things on credit, I would guess. I think I don't know. I mean, with Gilmore being out, do you look at wide receiver with what's there? I don't know. I mean, I think they did a really nice job of addressing needs in the winter cycle. That I don't know that there's just like pressing needs right now. Like absolutely have to get this position. I mean, there's some spots where it would be nice to have another body. I mean, even what. You mentioned the 3-man rotation at inside backer. I mean, do you find a fourth guy out there that's hanging in the portal that might help you? I mean, I think that's just kind of where Nebraska's at right now. And it's interesting too. I mean, this is the first portal cycle where Nebraska's had a dedicated general manager and kind of, taking a hard look at what the roster needs. So, I mean, I think
he's put a department together that's portal specific too. You know what I mean? As opposed to.
It makes sense.
Best dabble in both worlds. Like I think he's kind of built that thing, and I think he knew before the bowl game. He's like, I need a portal staff.
Yeah,
I got a lot of guys double dipping.
It's 700 guys going yesterday. I mean, like you're not sitting around with 3 people who are taking their time looking at different things. I mean, you need to bear down on that stuff, I guess.
Bruntz, let me ask you on a lighter note. Of guys that appear to be pretty good at their job, right? And they're different because Belichick's won considerably more than Dion, but Dion has turned programs around, 2 of them now. More surprised at the shenanigans in Boulder with the retiring of the numbers plural, or that Belichick seems to be vastly different than the Patriot way with his significant other playing such an integral role at practice?
The jersey retirements and the timing of it and who's getting retired, that all tracks. I mean, that doesn't feel out of bounds from the expected there. The Belichick thing is going to be fascinating because
I'm floored. It looks like shenanigans.
Yeah, it definitely feels a little bit less buttoned up in Chapel Hill right now. So I guess I would say North Carolina because I don't know what to expect there with the way things are set up. I'm very eager to see what that looks like once they actually play football. And the Colorado thing, I mean, whatever. You're obviously pandering there. You're going to have, Shadur's name up there next to Whizzer White and Rashawn Salam. So, whatever. That I have a lot of family in Colorado. A lot of them are Colorado alums. A lot of them are very pro-Prime. And a lot of them were very surprised, I guess, or a little flummoxed by that decision. Not happy about it, which I was. That was interesting, given how much chirping I've gotten my text messages the last couple of years about the way things have gone there.
Mm-hmm. That's our guy, Michael Bruntz, Husker247. Bruntz, appreciate it as always. We'll talk to you next week.
Thanks,
Baker. See you guys.
We will talk to Eddie Garcia. He hosts NHL Game Night podcast for Locked On. Coming up next as we preview the NHL playoffs here on Hurrdat Sports Live.
Give me that cheddar, bacon, Rico. Big money rolls like burritos. Give me that hot sauce, no pico. Give me that.
Following a big win over Creighton. This is a monkey off the back. You were telling me just now. A lot of emotion from you guys tonight on the field. How much meaning was into this win tonight?
Yeah, definitely a lot. Now we can go get the series. We have another opportunity to play against these guys, and it's going to mean more playing them in this next game.
Things really got going for you guys in the 6th inning. The bats came alive, but it came off a 1-2-3 inning from your freshman pitcher on the mound. What can you say from Price and the kind of inning he put together to get you guys going at the plate?
I mean, he's a great pitcher. He's a sidearm guy, throws from up top and down on the side too. So to see him do that was really great and a big confidence for our offense.
Yeah. Like you said, a lot of confidence. How do you guys carry that into this weekend series against Northwestern?
I think continue the great conversations that, in the clubby, just continuing to, instill the confidence within each other, within the pitchers, within the hitters. The biggest thing is going up there with confidence, and if we can do that, we're going to have success.
That was a full team win for you guys. A lot of arms, a lot of guys stepped up. Pinch hitters came up big for you guys. Just how proud of you are of this performance and everyone on the team?
Yeah, I'm super proud, and Coach Bolt brought it up in the after-game meeting, just continuing to, pick out guys and continue to praise them for, Ravi bowling coming off the bench, our pitchers coming out of the bullpen and just having success. That was great for us, and I believe we can have that the rest of the year.
Yeah. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
You're listening to Hurrdat Sports Live.
Frank, the left-hand shot. Skates in, goes left to right, cuts back in front, backhand shoots, he scores! Bobby Frank gives the Flyers the lead in the 5th round of the shootout.
Out, Jankowski in the slot, he scores! Well, that answered that question from earlier. Mark Jankowski is 8th with the Canes, and it's 4-0. Carolina. Trying to get away from McMichael. He takes a hit. Got it to Fantilli near the blue line. Long shot. And he scores! Adam Fantilli taking some punishment and then taking it to the back of the net to make it a 4-0 game.
We're back here on Hurrdat Sports Live. That's DB. I'm Ravi Lulla here at Hurrdat Sports Bar and Grill, joined now by Eddie Garcia, host of NHL Game Night for Locked On Podcast Network. Eddie, how are you this morning?
I'm doing good. Excited to get another postseason of Stanley Cup playoff action going soon.
There's that golden voice, Eddie. I'm curious. Is the most entertaining series potentially for you the most competitive series for you, or are those two different series?
I mean, for me, yeah. I'm looking at what is the most compelling matchup as far as what's the best matchup? What are the top two teams that are going head to head? And it's a little bit different, as you know, in the NHL playoffs with the format. You've got the potential Stanley Cup winners going at it in the first round in a couple of different playoff series. So if you're asking me which one is the series that is must-watch TV for hockey fans or for sports fans, to me, there's no question it's Lightning Panthers. 3 of the last 5 Cup winners going head-to-head, rivals. They met last year in the playoffs, and either one of these teams are legitimate Stanley Cup champion caliber teams. And because of the playoff format, they're meeting in the first round, and that you can certainly debate whether that's a good thing or not. But like I said, to me, there's no question Lightning Panthers is the playoff matchup, first round playoff matchup, definitely to watch.
I thought you may go with the Stars and the Avs from an entertainment standpoint because, I mean, the skill and the talent level. I am a little surprised the Avs are such a, I wouldn't say heavy favorite. I think they're minus 160. But from an entertainment standpoint, did the Avalanche and the Stars at least get in that discussion?
Absolutely. And about a month ago, I probably would have picked that game as the game to watch. Unfortunately for the Dallas Stars, they have looked terrible.
Yeah. And they were my Stanley Cup pick. They were my winner when the season started too, so I'm pretty disappointed.
But you're in good company then, or bad company, because they were so was I. They were my preseason pick. And at the trade deadline, I kind of reaffirmed that was my pick. So I don't know if this is the curse of Mikko Rantanen or what, but for people that don't know, Mikko Rantanen was shockingly traded by Colorado to Carolina this season. Carolina then went on a losing streak and was not playing well. He didn't want to be there. They end up trading him at the deadline to Dallas. So he's going to face his old team in the first round, which is a nice little subplot. But now the Stars are playing terrible. So I don't know. It doesn't make much sense. He has put up some pretty good numbers since he's been in Dallas because he actually wants to be there. But no, I thought about a month ago that was the first round series to watch. So, but Dallas is leaking oil badly. They're not going to get their star defenseman Nico Iamalaeva back for the start of the playoffs, which they were hoping for. So I can't pick that one. It's got to be Lightning Panthers.
Eddie, as I kind of look at some of the contenders, I like to look at what their flaws are and see how much they matter to me in their ability to go on and win the Stanley Cup. For Washington, I'm looking at finishing and goaltending. How much does the potential volatility of those two things for Washington in the playoffs concern you in their ability to make a run?
The goaltending situation does quite a bit. Logan Thompson, who is a possible Vezina Trophy finalist, has been hurt, didn't finish the year. They are hoping to have him for the start of the playoffs. Obviously I'm no doctor. I haven't examined him, but they do play tonight. Now, if he plays in that game, then I would expect him, if everything goes well, for him to start game one. If he doesn't, then obviously he's not going to. I don't believe you're going to throw a guy in game one of the Stanley Cup playoffs, and when he hasn't played at all at the end of the season. So, they're playing a very scrappy Montreal team that no one thought would be here. They've been in playoff mode now for the past few weeks. They almost let it slip through their fingers, but they finally closed it out yesterday with the win. But they've got nothing to lose. So there's that. And also another key player for the Capitals, Alexei Protas, is also injured. So I think Washington will eventually win that series, but it's not. When you look at a 1 versus 8 matchup, which this is, even in this NHL playoff format, that's what this is. It's a much closer matchup than that. But yeah, the Logan Thompson injury is very concerning for Washington.
So on the heels of that, I was going to ask you anyway, if you feel like the Caps are well-rounded enough to have another feel-good story with Ovi at this stage of his career already breaking the record, are they complete enough for you to have a run in them?
I think they are. They are, even though they made the playoffs last year, they're still one of the bigger surprises because they were the last team to make it in last year.
For sure.
First team to make it in this year, even though they didn't win the President's Trophy. But they made a ton of offseason moves that have all worked out, from Pierre-Luc Dubois to getting Jacob Chikrin. They've had some guys in their organization step up, Connor McMichael, Alexei Protas, that have had career years. So and Ovechkin, of course, has been, came back to form for him after a bit of an off year. So it's all worked out for them. Logan Thompson is another one, and they bring him in as a backup from Vegas, and he turns into, a star goalie for them. So yeah, no, I think they're complete enough to go on a run if they can get the goaltending healthy.
Eddie, speaking of a couple things there that you mentioned, 1, the President's Trophy, and 2, goaltending, that leads me directly to the Winnipeg Jets, right? So are you more concerned about the President's Trophy curse with the Jets, or the fact that their guy Connor has been a little bit on the struggle bus, and I'm trying to be nice here, about his playoff goaltending the last couple of years?
I'm not concerned about the President's Trophy curse, because typically the issue with that is you've got a team that's probably blown away the field and hasn't played any meaningful games for months. And then they get in a playoff matchup, and then they're playing a wild card team that's been fighting for their lives, right? And so it's hard to flip that switch. But I don't really get that sense with Winnipeg. I think that they understand that even though they've done some historical things this year, first ever division title, first ever President's Trophy, they know completely it doesn't mean anything if they don't get it done in the playoffs. And this is a team that has lost 4 of their last 5 playoff appearances in the first round. So and Connor Hellebuck, their goaltender, going to win the Vezina Trophy this year. Mm-hmm. He's won multiple Vezinas. It doesn't matter for him if he doesn't get it done in the playoffs. So at least they're very well aware of the fact that, as brutal as it might sound, their greatest regular season in their history means nothing if they don't have some playoff success. So I think that they are very much aware of their situation, very much aware that they have to get it done in the playoffs or they're going to be completely dismissed, and everything they've accomplished this year, which is kind of sad to say, will be completely dismissed. So, and you know, they're taking on a Blues team that, like I said, they've been in playoff mode. They had a recent 12-game winning streak.
Yep.
This one also isn't exactly your typical 1-8 matchup, but in the end, I also think the Jets are gonna survive this.
Is there a And I'm going to just ask about them specifically. Do you think Carolina has enough championship pedigree in them to kind of be there when it counts? Because I feel like for as much as you can overlook a Carolina Hurricanes team, I do kind of feel like they're an afterthought.
Yeah, I mean, look, they, like I mentioned Nico Rantanen earlier, they kind of went for it this year and tried to get a superstar player, a top 10 NHL player, to be the missing piece of what is a very good team. But they just don't have that horse. They don't have that one guy that can change a game with one play. Very hardworking team. They will definitely win their first round series against New Jersey. That would be one of the bigger upsets for me if the Devils win this series. So yeah, they'll make it out of the next round, but I don't know that they have enough to go on a deep playoff run. The goaltending there is also not great. It's okay. But no, I mean, like, I like their team. I like Rod Brind'Amour, their head coach. They've won every first round playoff matchup. They've been in 7 straight years under him, so they will get out of the first round. But I don't think that they have enough to go for a deep run.
Do you have a dark horse? I have one.
Do.
Okay, go ahead. Let me hear yours.
Well, I do, but I will let people know that, and I try not to be biased in this.
If you say the Kings, I'm with you.
Yeah, I'm an LA Kings fan.
Yeah, I like the Kings too.
I think the LA Kings are a dark horse because they have the goaltending and they have the defense. And if they can get enough offense, and if their power play is just okay, they could be a dark horse. They obviously have to slay the Dragon and the Oilers, who's beaten them 3 straight years in the playoffs.
Yep.
I think they're absolutely a better team than them. But the obviously for Edmonton, the 2 best players on the ice will be wearing the Oilers sweaters, and Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl. But the Oilers are banged up. They are really banged up. Draisaitl's not 100%. The goaltending heavily favors the LA Kings. The Kings finally have home ice in this series, which they didn't have the first 3 meetings, and they have been a historically good team on home ice this year. They're 11-1 at home against the top 3 teams in each division. So they've beaten the best of the best on home ice consistently this year. And I also think the next round, they match up really well if it's Vegas. They won 3 of 4 against Vegas this year, and pretty convincingly. So, I could very much see them making the Western Conference Finals. They would have to probably match up against a really good Colorado team. I don't know if they can get past them or not, but to answer your question, I think the Kings are the dark horse.
Yeah, and how about this? We've seen it in the NHL. We've seen an interim become a head coach, and all of a sudden they get it going. I mean, Hiller's done quietly. It's a fantastic job for how he got there.
I could not agree with you more, and I will completely admit I did not want them to remove the intro tag and give him. I mean, we will think about it. I mean, he did a good job when he took over last year from Tom McCollum. He did. But they also lost in the first round again.
But again, that was Edmonton.
It was.
In 5.
I thought they needed a different voice.
Yeah.
I just thought that, and this is a guy who's never been an NHL head coach before.
No.
But he's done a fantastic job. He won't win the Jack Adams Award for Coach of the Year, which is probably a good thing because those guys get fired in like 2 years every year. But he should be mentioned. He should get some votes. He really should. He's done a terrific job with the Kings.
All right, let me get you out of here on this. How much I feel like I ask you this every year, Eddie, for the last 5 years. More or less pressure in Toronto than normal?
Well, I would say more, believe it or not, just because of who they're playing.
Yeah.
It's the Battle of Ontario. They're taking on their little stepbrothers, the Ottawa Senators, who no one thought would be here. They've got nothing to lose, and all the pressure is on Toronto. I mean, it would be probably anyway, but even more so now. And the Senators swept them this year. They won all 3 matchups in the regular season, for what that's worth. Toronto has by far the better lineup on paper, but as always with the Leafs, goaltending is an issue. Anthony Stolarz and Joseph Wolf have had wonderful combined regular seasons, but they've never had this kind of pressure on them in the playoffs. They've combined in their careers for 4 playoff starts, and it's going to be, the scrutiny is going to be unbelievable. And, you know, the good news is that if one of them isn't very good, they could turn to the other guy, I guess. But no, the pressure is extremely high on Toronto. And again, they're going to take on a hungry Senators team that has the better goaltender in Linus Ullmark, and that's a guy you could see stealing a series. So yeah, it's the pressure is even more on the Maple Leafs than it has been recently, I think, because of this particular matchup.
All right, Eddie, let's get your Stanley Cup Finals matchup and pick. What do we got?
It's pretty chalky, but I'm going to go. But it is a team that could lose in the first round. I'm picking the Lightning out of the East.
Wow.
And I'm taking the Avalanche out of the West.
Stones to take a team that, you're right, very well may not get out of the first round. But I obviously Florida didn't play anybody in the last matchup, and I was telling our producer's brother is a huge Lightning fan, and I mean, could you believe the stat from Hagel where he's got 35 goals and not nary a one of them has come on the power play for the Lightning?
Yeah, man. Look,
they can score.
4 players with 35 goals or more.
Yeah.
They may have the MVP of the league on their team in Nikita Kucherov, who won the Art Ross Trophy for the leading scorer. They have a multiple Vezina Trophy winner and Stanley Cup winning goalie in Andrei Vasilevsky, and their head coach maybe is the best head coach in the NHL in John Cooper. So they've got it all. It's just, can they survive the first round against, oh, by the way, the defending Stanley Cup champs who rested up all their players, gave away home ice advantage, didn't care about trying to win a division title and getting an easier path to the cup. They're like, we're going to rest our guys up and we're going to go for it again, and we're not afraid of anybody. So again, Lightning Panthers is going to be an absolute war in the first round.
McKinnon or Kucherov or bust for the MVP?
Yeah, it's kind of hard not to go Kucherov. Even though both guys have a lot of talent around them. But I don't know. I think McKinnon sitting out the last few games, kind of conceding the scoring title, might end up hurting him for the Hart Trophy. But also, I mean, look, it's also Connor Hellebuck. There's a strong push for him to win the MVP, and goalies don't win it that often, but he did have a very, very good year. So it'll be interesting to see if we get a goalie win the MVP this year.
That's our guy, Eddie Garcia, hosts NHL Game Night on the Locked On Podcast Network. Eddie, appreciate it as always, and enjoy the playoffs.
I will. You too. Thanks for having me on, guys. Always a pleasure.
Thanks, Eddie.
That's Eddie Garcia from the Locked On Podcast Network. Make sure you check out NHL Game Night. We will be back to wrap up the show next here on Hurrdat Sports Live.
We will be back. We will be back. We will be back. You're listening to Hurrdat Sports Live.
We're back here on Hurrdat Sports Live. That's DB. I'm Ravi Lulla here at Hurrdat Sports Bar and Grill, reminding you when choosing where to find a bank, find a financial institution that makes the time and energy to understand you and your journey. You deserve to have your financial needs met, and Centrus Federal Credit Union has the products, services, and more importantly, the expertise to help you throughout your financial journey. Go check them out, centrusfcu.org, federally insured by NCUA and an equal housing lender. The was an ad lib. That wasn't part of that.
It wasn't that.
They don't offer those at Centrus Federal Credit Union.
And an oh no moment.
Oh no. What happened?
Lee Corso.
Yeah. Will be retiring from College Gameday.
You kind of struggled with them running him out there, didn't you?
Yeah, so
it's the only ounce of kindness I've ever seen you exude. So
that's not true.
I'm very proud of you.
It's few and far between.
And I get it. He's extremely old, so you do have a compassion for older adults.
Yeah, I do. And I also, from what I understood, and so I backed off of it a little bit. From what I understood is he really wanted to be there, and so they weren't trotting him out there. This is what he wanted.
Okay.
And so I'll give him a pass there. I do think it probably is time. He clearly was struggling with some things by the last few years here. They are going to let him have a sign off on week 1, which I'm happy for. He deserves his moment, not just to go kind of quietly in the off season. So I'm glad he'll have his moment week 1, first week of the season in 2025 here, and then put a bow on an incredible career as it was almost 40 years on College Gameday.
Yeah,
he's a staple.
I'd like to do anything for 40 years. I'm just fortunate to make it to living.
I say you've been alive for more than 40.
Well, it's been a crapshoot.
Look at you.
All grown up with no place to go.
He has been on College Gameday since before I've been alive. Year before. That's
in that special.
That's a pretty long time.
In that special.
No, I'm happy for him. I'm happy that he gets to retire and that he has a nice moment there.
You like it? I love it.
Do you have any winners?
I'm on fire now.
You are. You're on a little heater.
He's on fire.
You got the Heat. Speaking of the Heat, last night and the Twins.
Yes.
They made it a little interesting on you. They made you sweat it a little bit.
That's okay.
That still counts as a W.
Nightbird. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
What do we got? You got anybody we love?
So I'm gonna put my hot streak on the line. Because I am taking a sizable doggy dog. Not to go all George Clinton on you. Nasty dog, doggy dog. A little Snoop Dogg as well. I like the early tilt. The Marlins.
Oh, okay.
getting a fair amount of plus scratch.
I feel like you're
from Omaha Ryans, Arizona Diamondbacks.
Plus 130.
Yes.
Your Miami Marlins.
I'm all in on Cabrera today.
Cabrera versus Rodriguez.
Yes. Yes.
My former pitcher.
It's International Pitching Day.
Rodriguez.
It's really not, but
no, it's not.
Good odds of that happening in the major leagues.
Yeah, there's somebody's gonna throw. I don't know if you know that.
We are not ending how we started. Race baiter.
No.
That's funny. Like
you brought up Marcus Garvey. I did not.
I brought up Marcus Garvey in regards to my militancy, not
because
you were trying to send me back somewhere.
I was no. You said, hey, I was a little not quite on the Marcus Garvey train because you weren't so sure about going back to Africa. And I was like, yeah, you're much further removed from your ancestry there than I am from India. And even I'm a little sketchy about going back to India. I wasn't trying to send you anywhere. I was trying to validate your belief about maybe not riding with Marcus Garvey.
I love your creativity.
My creativity. You're the one trying to twist and make me look worse.
Did you not listen to yourself during the Nico Iamalaeva? You're like, okay, it's not about Nico. Ravi.
I think that was a classic miscommunication. You know?
I love your delivery.
I was mad about Nico's dad. You thought I was attacking Nico.
Yes.
And I think we both agree more on each other's side than came across.
Oh, don't you speak for me. Au contraire, mon frère.
You agree more with me if I'm talking about Nico's dad than you did if I was talking about Nico.
See.
That's all I said.
Hey, so right there, I just did a little French. And
a little Spanish?
Yes.
I mean, C is the least amount of Spanish you can do.
Oh, well, ¿cómo se dice yo no sé?
How do I say I don't know?
Yeah. Yo no sé.
Yeah. Oh, IDK.
What are you 12? I can't stand shorthand text. IDK?
That's because it doesn't come across when you voice the text. If you go IDK, it's not going to come across right.
Do you want an embarrassing? Well, I'm full
always.
of them. I just always tell you. Do you know how long it took me to figure out in case you missed it?
Oh, really?
I was afraid to ask.
Yeah.
Not near as long as Bogo. Remember how long Bogo had me fooled, Shane?
It was only a minute or two.
And I finally asked this ding-dong Severe
on
air.
Don't tell me you asked Severe because he would not be kind about it.
And he was like, oh, my gosh.
For as mean as you think I am, Severe was
Oh,
mean.
no, there's no question. You don't hold a candle to that guy. I mean, not a candle. But, yeah, in case you missed it, and Bogo got your boy for a long time.
I think the one that took me a minute was...
He said IDK.
If you know, the IYKYK.
Yeah.
Just because it looks kind of goofy. That one took me a minute. So,
I'm pretty disappointed in Bogo because in 2025, that's all I look for.
Yeah, you probably should have got that one a little earlier.
Yeah, whatever. I'm like, what the?
What about YOLO?
No, because do you know when that started?
When you were coaching high school? Like
Tommy Armstrong would throw these passes, and they kept saying he throws YOLO balls. And I was like, what? I love Armstrong. That's not true. I'm dead serious. I've known that one for over 10 years.
He kind of did throw YOLO balls.
It's not true. I'm not here for that. I am not here for that. I am not here for
not when he was winning championships with the Beef, but
man,
maybe
TA was a baller. I love that.
I know I liked him a lot, but every once in a while he'd be like, let's see what happens.
I had a famous meltdown on air after the Iowa game about Tommy Armstrong.
Certainly not
I was
as
very unhappy with him.
Certainly not as much as Casey Thompson was like, hey, Trey's down there somewhere, but
how was that dude so open?
Always.
It's crazy. Like, anybody gonna cover this guy?
Apparently not. That's DB. I'm Ravi Lulla. We'll cover some more tomorrow here on Hurrdat Sports Live.
See you. Have a good day. Love you.